each day of the week. Come on, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. What you waiting for? Come and take a seat. Like and subscribe, this is where you wanna be. Cause you know we gon' talk about it. Let's talk about it. Get in here, we in here tonight. So get in here, we in here to vibe. know we gon' talk about it. Let's talk about it. Get in here, we in here tonight. So get in here, we in here to vibe.
Hey everybody, how's it going? We are back, y'all. Sorry about the small delay. Had to go season some meat. Anyway, how's everybody doing? She said, I can't believe Nature Boy Cult Wives still over there. Oh my goodness, listen, we are going to have a conversation, so welcome back. She said, I was going to sleep. You sleep, Glenn? I am here, y'all. And listen, she said, yes, can hear you loud and clear. Thank you so much, Meg. Y'all, first of all, let me just explain why I am doing what I'm doing. All right. So, first of all, anyway, welcome, y'all. For those that don't know, I am about to do a breakdown comparison of Kevin Wesley. Y'all know who he is, LaTruth, baby brother, Kevin Wesley. Jim Jones and Nature Boy. Now today we're just doing those three. I'm gonna do a comparison, but we will be gathering other cult leaders and doing a comparison with what we see what's going on as well. Okay. The reason why I'm doing this, if anybody want to know, I'm doing this because I see something. I see a pattern. I see something that's concerning to me. I do. I see it, and I don't know if you guys see it, but we're going to show it to you guys or whatever. Let me pull this video up while I'm up here talking because I want y'all to see the intro videos. Hold on one second. Now, I don't have the intro video Well, I do, but I cannot play it. The intro video of Jim Jones. So the other day, when I played a little small clip of him, my video got flagged. Okay. Now, I don't know if it's just because it's him or if it's the source in which I use. It's probably the source in which I used, most likely. However, so I'm not going to play the clip, but I'm going to say what it is that he said. Okay. I'm going to analyze what it is that he said in his recruitment speech, both of them, all three of them. All three of the recruitment speeches, okay? Now, let me, she said the different color stars show the difference in how long you've been a member. Yes. So let me put these pictures back up right quick, if we will. So y'all know who the hell we talking about. I'm going to put this one up. So we all know who Kevin Wesley is. The guy in the Indian suit, that is Nature Boy, okay? Nature Boy real name is, what is his real name? His real name is, let me get this out the way. Nature Boy real name is, I don't even know how to pronounce that, but something Bishop. Eligio Bishop. It's Eligio. Eligio, however you say that, but his last name is Bishop, okay? Nature Boy is what he called himself. The white guy is Jim Jones, okay? Jim Jones. So we're going to talk about, and y'all know who Kevin Wesley is. We're going to talk about Nature Boy, Kevin Wesley, and Jim Jones. And we're going to do a comparison. Again, this stems off of what I've seen that has concerned me, the recruitment speeches and leaving outside the country, and just basically everything that we see, what's going on, the need to control an image, you know what I'm saying, and wanting to be influential while also spreading toxicity, behaviors and whatnot. Okay. Now, again, I'm not going to play the recruitment video of Nature Boy or Jim Jones, right? But I am going to summarize it, but I am going to let you hear the recruitment video of Kevin Wesley, okay? There's two. One is about maybe 4 or 5 minutes, while the other one is 1 minute, okay? 2 minutes. One is 7 minutes and one is 2 minutes.
Right, sir.
Okay, so we're going to put up first the 7-minute one, okay? And again, it's something that's concerning me. I just want to bring awareness to it. This is all about bringing awareness, okay? This is not me accusing Kevin Wesley of being a cult leader, okay? Because I am not accusing him of being a cult leader. I am pointing out the comparisons. What I see that's similar, what I see that sounds concerning, what I see that could potentially be a cult, okay? Not saying that it is. What I'm saying is potentially, all right? Y'all ready for this? Let's go.
Rise family, I have a very important message for all of our subscribers, all of our supporters. The Rise family is taking on their biggest challenge yet. We're leaving the country. Listen, we realize that the world is not getting any better. In our lifetime, we're not going to see the world that we're so desperately, trying so desperately hard to create. We're not going to see relationships manifest the way we want to see them in our lifetime. It's too much work to do. You understand? We're not going to see our people flourishing like we would like to. Our people working together like we would like to in this lifetime. It's too much wrong to correct, right? And I want to see this in my lifetime. I want to see something that resembles harmony in my lifetime. So I want to try creating it. And those of you who are like mine, who know that you want to create this type of world and you want to see this type of world, I welcome you.
Okay, we're doing this ASAP. Many of you guys know that we're out here in the state of Georgia. We are selling everything. All the furniture in the home, we moved out here about.
I want you guys to pay attention on the urgency. Okay, the urgency. We're doing this ASAP. Okay, I also want you guys to pay attention on him basically trying to say things like, there's no harmony. I want to see us come together. I want us to see us live in harmony, live a better quality of life. You're going to hear it. Okay. Just keep listening. Because basically what he's saying right now is your life ain't it. What you got going on in your life right now is not it. All right. Continue to listen.
A couple of years ago, and we bought everything new. We're selling everything. So if you're in Georgia and you need some furniture, dining room tables, living rooms, TVs, whatever the case may be, cars, hit us up. Okay, guys, I'm dead serious. We're doing this. Okay, where we're going, it's a place where the weather's better. They have private schools. They have great hospitals, and it's a fraction of the cost that is here.
Now, let me just let you know, if you don't know, he's never been outside the country that I know of, because he actually had to go get a passport, okay? And as an adult, if you have a passport, your passport is good for 10 years, okay? 10 years, right? So if he, is it 10 years or 5? I can't remember. The kids was 5 and adults is 10. I think the adults is 10 years. So if he had a passport, he wouldn't have had to go get a passport, okay? So he's never been outside the country, but all of a sudden the weather is better. More quality of food, more quality of life. You know what I'm saying? Thank y'all, 10 years. So 10 years for an adult, which means that he's 42, 41, 42, which means that he would have been 32 when he got his passport. And if he had a passport, he wouldn't have had to go get a passport. You feel me? Okay, I just thought I'd just run that by you. So a man who has never left the country, all of a sudden he knows that the weather is better, the food is better, the quality of life is better. All of this from looking at TV. Looking at TV, okay? All right, let's go.
Fraction of the cost it is here. Way more fraction of the cost where the weather's better. They have private schools. They have great hospitals, and it's a fraction of the cost it is here. Way more affordable to stay there. For my health, I'll be able to afford much better quality food at a reduced price. Okay, so I can take care of myself better, my family better. You understand? Especially for me as well. Great health care for him and all. Again, like I said, great private schools. We'll be doing our own schooling, but great private schools there. They have sports, everything you need. My homeboy just hit me up from there. He's been living there for a while, and one of his buddies moved out there. His buddy bought, I think he said 6 or 7 acres of land and built a 3-level property on it for $40,000 outright. Okay, we'll have more freedom to build out there. Okay, more freedom to create out there. There will be rules like an HOA. Of course, you ain't just gonna move out there and just run rampant. But
it's funny that he mentions an HOA in a country that he's never been to. He's never even owned a home, so I don't even think he knows what an HOA is. Do you understand me? It's funny that he mentioned that. It's just really, really funny that he said it will be an HOA, as if they even call it the same thing in other countries. But he said it because it sounds to me, now this is just me, my logical thinking. That ain't always right, y'all. It ain't always right. But it sounds to me that HOA is going to be a fee that he gets. That's what it sounds to me. But he says it will be an HOA. Really? Interesting, huh? Okay, that signifies it will be an ongoing fee that you have to pay me. Okay, that's what it sounds like to me.
I want to give everybody an opportunity to be able to come out and be a part of this. Okay, you guys know how I think, you know how I see the world. You've been following me for years, if you have, and many of you guys already know we've talked about this before. So inbox me if you're interested. I would just say this. There is a criteria to be able to make this trip to be able to make this happen.
Here we go. There is a criteria. There is a criteria. What's the criteria, Mr. Kev?
And I'll go over them in more private conversations.
It's a secret, is what he just said. There's criterias, but it's a secret. You got to sign up for it. You got to pay some money to know what the criterias are to come to Colombia. Sell all your shit and move to Colombia, okay, for a better quality of life. It's a secret. I'm going to tell you the secret, but not out loud. I don't want the public to know the secret, okay?
With all the people who are interested in going, okay? Come to YouTube, join my membership program, and we'll do membership. We'll do group conversations and all the things that you'll need, all the tools you'll need before you go there. And so we can build on this before we go there. But I wanted to say the one thing you want to make sure that you can do is make money in the States so you can spend it there. Okay, so
and you know, that's funny to me. The fact that, you know, he's going for a better quality of life. He's going for better weather. He's going for better food. Okay. He's going for better hospitals, better care for himself and his son. But you got to be able to make money in the United States. Don't come over here broke now. I'm going to need you to make American money while we denounce America, escape from America, put America down. Yeah, we're fleeing America, but we want American dineros, okay? Give me some American dollars, all right? That's what we want. We want American money while we shit on America. Okay? All right, let's go. Peacock said, ask ChatGPT, does he say more than Cali? That's funny. Thank you for the thank you, Peacock, for the super chat. Let's go.
Have a way to make money here. You're great. Okay. If you don't have
he said if you find a way to make money in the United States, the same place that we're running from, the same place that he said, I know what's gonna happen in your country. Y'all just don't know what's going to happen in your country. I know what's going to happen in your country. You remember he was only over there for 4 days when he said your country, referring to America is our country, no longer his. Okay, but he want the people that he's recruiting to be able to make money in our country. Yeah, not his, because you know America is no longer his country, right? He denounced it. He said, your country. That's what he said, y'all. I'm telling you what he said. So now he's telling people, come over, live better, best quality of life. But have a way to make money in this horrible ass country that I know was about to happen. That's what he said. I know what's about to happen in your country. I know what's about to happen in your country. Scare tactics. Okay, let's continue.
In the States. So you can spend it there. Okay, so if you have a way to make money here, you're great. Okay, if you don't have a way of making money here, you want to make sure you have a skill so that you can use your skill to trade it for money there. For people like us who'll be moving there who can afford to pay for your services. Okay, but we're going to do everything we can to make this happen for us and others. So if you guys are interested, inbox me. On any of my platforms, I'll be making sure I check them, but make sure that this Friday at 9:00 a.m., okay, you've got...
Hey, do me a favor, you guys. Hit that thumbs up button and share this live out. If each of you guys, I got 282 people in here. If I can get 100 people to share this live so I can get more people in here, that would be absolutely fabulous. If I can get 100 people, share it on your Facebook right quick, share it on your TikTok, share it on your Instagram, and share it on your YouTube channel. Okay? Thank y'all. Appreciate it. And hit that thumbs up button, because when you hit the thumbs up button, YouTube does a level of sharing themselves. They'll spin it through the algorithm quicker. Okay? Thank y'all. Appreciate it.
Are in my membership on YouTube. Okay? I'll be doing well, I guess I'll say the first time meeting, conversation with all the people who are interested, okay, and we'll go from there, all right? I love you guys. Let's do this. I'm excited about it. I've talked to my whole family about it. Everyone's excited about this. There's so many things that, while being in my children's life, like a father's supposed to be, there are things I feel to teach.
Now, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, that was shade. He said, being in my kid's life like I'm supposed to be. Well, we know somebody that's not in their 17-year-old life, right? So anyway, I thought there was a little shade, but let's continue nevertheless.
And there are things that I want to teach them now to secure my legacy going forward on things that I wish I could have taught them earlier in life, okay? We're kind of going back to the drawing board, and it's just time to recorrect those broken things. Do you understand, guys?
So what he's saying, when he says recorrect, okay, first of all, that's a double negative, recorrect, okay? He wants to recorrect, so he wants to correct not giving his kids the skills to be productive adults, because all three of them are adults, if I'm not mistaken, and I don't think none of them have jobs, incomes. I could be wrong, but they're not doing anything for society. So that's his way of saying, I didn't teach my daughter how to cook, I didn't teach my daughter how to sew, I didn't teach my daughter how to do anything, nothing at all, not even be a parent, okay? I didn't teach my kids anything, so I want to come back and try that shit again, is what it sounds like he's saying to me. Hey, Callie, baby, how are you? So I'm glad you are finally hitting him from this angle, because this is very important. People have to pay attention to the patterns of how cults are formed. And that's what we're getting into, Callie. I don't know if you heard me say that on my last live, but I am about to go down that path. Do you hear me? I want to know, because I am curious and I see some concerning things. So that's exactly where we're going, Chief. So thank you so very much. Okay, so now he wants a do-over. He absolutely wants a do-over. Now, I'm going to tell you this. There's a whole lot of parents out there wish they can do a do-over, okay? But he wants to do a do-over because he feels that his kids, his adult children, don't have the skills to be productive adults. Okay, so again, you're gonna hear him say, he want to recorrect the things that he did not instill in his children. Him or his wife didn't instill in his kids. Maybe it was between the 4, 5, or 8 years that he was gone out of the kid's life. Maybe he's talking about he missed all that time, so they didn't learn shit. Okay.
Things. Do you understand, guys? I'm sure.
Yeah, he's gonna say, "Do you understand?" Like everybody else is dealing with the same shit.
There are things I feel to teach them, and there are things that about it. Everyone's excited about this. There are so many things that, while being in my children's life, like a father's supposed to be, there are things I feel to teach them, and there are things that I want to teach them now to secure my legacy going forward on things that I wish I could have taught them earlier in life. Okay, we're kind of going back to the drawing board, and it's just time to recorrect those broken things. Do you understand, guys? I'm sure many of you are the same way. You might look at your children and know that they're not ready. And you may know that you didn't put in them what you could have, what you know, based on what you know now.
So he's admitting that he did not instill, like I said, life skills into his children's life, okay? Life skills to go out there and be productive, because that's all it takes. You understand what I'm saying? You don't have to teach them everything you know. They learn it along the way. But you do have to provide some type of life skills for them to be able to get out there on their own, okay? All right, so let's continue. And he feels like a failure. He feels like he has not provided the basic life skills. But he's a coach, though, y'all. He coach. Who's buying a coaching service is what I want to know. He's a life coach, right? But who's buying the life skills or the coaching skills that he provides when he didn't even do it for his own kids? Okay, they missing it.
You didn't put in them what you could have, what you know, based on what you know now. And so, do we send our future selves out knowing that they don't have all the tools they need? Or do we take responsibility for that? And that's where I'm at with it. It's time to take control of our life, our destiny, and create the world that we want to see. Because I try to, make videos and try to convince people to change and see that we should change to create a better world. And honestly, most people are vibrating so low.
It's the nerve of him. I'm sorry for stopping this video, but I cannot do a whole video and not call out the hypocrisy. The nerve of him to say people are vibrating low when we've seen him come out here and spin out. I mean, totally spin out with his low vibrational ass. But he says some people are out here vibrating low as if he's not. He thinks in his mind, y'all, that he rise above all of this toxicity, badass behavior, all this shit, right? He feels that he's above it, but he's not. He's not above it at all. This man literally posted a picture of a horse trying to make fun at a woman that he's going back and forth with. Yeah, you heard me right. He's going back and forth with a man. Yeah. He'll come out tomorrow and say, what am I supposed to do? Allow her to say this about me? Oh, a man not supposed to defend himself? A man not supposed to defend himself. He wants to be a leader. Leaders get attacked all the time. But if leaders turn around and attack everybody that attacks them, then they're a weak-ass leader. Let's just call it what it is. Are we calling spades a spade today? I want to know, you guys. Are we calling a spade today? Because a leader do not entertain every single person that has something negative to say about them. Leaders don't do that. How are you able to lead if you're entertaining noise from all parts of the room? Who are you getting your guidance from? You too busy looking down that you can't look up. He too busy listening to the noise while acting low vibrational himself, and then want to turn around and say so many people are low vibration. He low vibration right there with them. But he won't say that, though. He's not going to admit that. Let's go.
That we want to see, because I try to, make videos and try to convince people to change and see that we should change to create a better world. And honestly, most people are vibrating so low. Honestly, guys, in this lifetime, it's probably over with. Okay, for those people to turn around and care enough to fix it and change their ways. So the people who already get this, the ones who've already woken up.
Remember that word, woken, okay? Those that get this. When he said those that get this, he means those that get this, that you cannot be successful in the United States. You need to run to another country, live on a compound with him, give him your money while you farming and slaving all day, or you getting money back from America, but you got to pay your HOA fee. Don't forget now, you got to pay your HOA fee. I wonder what HOA mean for him, okay? But those that are woken, remember that word, woken. Let's go.
It's time for us to give them an example of what that should look like. And so, if you're interested, if you're up for the work, inbox me, family. All right? I look forward to talking to you all about it soon.
Now, don't forget, he said, if you're up for the work, make sure y'all pay attention to these words. If you're up for the work, okay? Because that's exactly what your ass gonna be doing. They ain't gonna be doing it. Him and them women ain't gonna be doing it. But your ass go over there and you gonna be working. But let's go.
Again, inbox me if you want to buy some of this stuff. All right? And if you guys want to support us, we could definitely use the support. Please buy one of our books. I have 4 or 5 books available on Amazon. The Emotional Terrorizer, Before You Marry That Single Mother, The Modern Family as We Know It is a Broken Home, Polyfamily, Polytribe 101. And there's another one. Jamie has a few books. Just type in books by Kevin Wesley, books by Jamie Wesley on Amazon. Support us, buy the books. My cash app is $Rise and Reach Center if you'd like to contribute. I'm reducing all of my consultations to half price, so that's $50 per hour if you guys are interested in a coaching call. And we're gonna hammer this out. Okay, family? Peace to you. Love y'all.
Okay, that's I'm sorry. That's recruit video number 1. We're going to go right into the recruit video number 2 because he follows up with them. Oh, sorry. He follows up with them basically saying so many people have reached out. Oh my God, this is about to be great. I done got to some of y'all. Y'all are interested, but just know I'm going to tell you what up in ahead. I'm going to tell you it ain't what you think. This ain't what you think. This ain't what you think. This ain't what you think. But hold on, y'all.
Rise family, listen, we asked you guys to inbox us if you were interested in leaving the country, and the response was overwhelming. So many of you guys are reaching out saying, I want to go too. But before you guys pack up and book a flight, I need you guys to understand what this really is. This is not a
Yeah, I need you guys to understand what this really is. What this really is. This ain't no vacation, honey. Let me tell y'all what this really is. Let's see what he say.
This is not some sabbatical where we go sow our wild oats and live free without purpose. This is not about polygamy, and it's not a polygamous community. It's about rebuilding what was never built for us in the first place. This is about us creating a world for our children, our family, and our legacies. If you've ever looked around you and you saw this world is not for you, if you felt this, if you ever felt out of place, if something in your soul, in your spirit tells you you're a cycle breaker, that you're going to do something radical, then this might be for you. But let me be clear, this is not going to be easy. This is for people who understand nature, tribe, who want to heal and who want to build.
Basically, this is not easy. It's not going to be easy. This is for people who understand nature. Your ass is not going to have no lights, no water, no running clean water, shit like that, okay? Understand nature. Understand. What else did he say? Understand nature. And did he say wilderness? Hold on. Let me see. Tribe. Understand that it's going to be a head and it's going to be a chief and your ass is going to be an Indian, okay? Hold on.
Who want to heal and who want to build.
Oh, who want to heal and build, because you about to build your own house. I'm talking about literally. I'm talking about literally. I'm talking about one piece of wood at a time. Okay? Okay, literally. All right?
Whether you're single, monogamous, or polygamous, this is for individuals who are seeking change. I believe the modern family is broken, okay? And I want to help restore true lineage, true legacy, and true community to all who are ready. But first, we heal. We can't bring the way we were taught with us. We can't carry false teaching and old wounds.
When he says this, we can't bring false teachings and old wounds, and we can't carry these things with us. In my opinion, this is just me. It sounds like he's saying, leave everything behind. Whatever you was taught, leave it behind, okay? I'm going to teach you the right way. I'm going to instill in you what you need to know. Leave all these false teaching, what your mama told you, what your daddy told you, what your ex told you, what your job done told you, what your best friend done told you. Forget everything that you ever knew, and you will listen to me moving forward. I'm going to tell you what's real. So forget everything that you was taught before. Dump all of that. I got all the knowledge you need, okay? That's what it sounds like to me, all right?
The way we were taught with us. We can't carry false teaching.
He said you can't bring what you was taught with us.
But first, we heal. We can't bring the way we were taught with us. We can't carry false teaching and old wounds and bad habits into new soil. So if you feel
into new soil. Ooh, Lord, the words.
So that you were born to create a new world. Go to my YouTube and join Tier 1. This is where we're going to share everything.
Now, right here, you hear him saying Tier 1. Now, when you normally hear Tier 1, what comes after Tier 1, you guys? Anybody in the comments, what comes after Tier 1? When you hear the word Tier 1, what comes after Tier 1? Tier 2. Thank you, Vanessa. Thank you, Vanessa. Tier 2. Which means this is Tier 1. All right? And in my opinion, Tier 1 is phase 1. All right? Which means that, you know, I'm about to show you what a small package look like, okay? But then it's going to be a tier 2, tier 3, tier 4. So again, I don't know. I have not listened to his private video as far as what he's saying. But I'm going to assume if you just come in up under tier 1, then you might be living in, you might be living in some barn or a hay house or whatever the case may be. I'm just saying. But I've never been a part of a cult, so I don't know how this works. But I'm assuming it's going to be a tier 1, a tier 2, a tier 3, a tier 4, a tier 5. Meaning it's going to be so many levels for you to be even close to where he's going to be, because he's going to be the leader. He's going to be at the top, okay? So you tier 1s will probably be like, kind of outside of the home. Vanessa said it's phase 1, take your money to support his family. Oh, okay, I see your approach. So she's saying phase 1. So tier 1 is send in this amount of money, and then tier 2 might be another set of money, and tier 3 might be a set. So it might take you to tier fucking 5 before you actually hit Columbia. Is that what you're saying? It's 5 tiers to get on the plane. I don't know. I'm talking crap right now because I don't know. All right, but let's continue.
Okay. I always say it's in due time. When you do it, then it will be time. Family, it's time. Join Kevin Wesley.
Tell me that shit don't sound creepy. Let's go back to that. Just that sentence alone, family, it's time. Does that not sound creepy? Look.
Join Kevin. Always say it's in due time. When you do it, then it will be time. Family, it's time.
Family, it's time. It's time. It's time for what? Huh?
Then it will be time. Family, it's time. Join Kevin Wesley, the Truth Factory, tier 1. I'll see you guys there. Okay, 9 o'clock Eastern time. a.m., 9 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time this Friday rising. Okay, we'll have our first official meeting for all who are interested in going, for all who are interested in following the journey, getting information on maybe doing this yourself one day. We're going to document every single detail right here in this spot. Okay, so I'll see you guys soon. Peace.
Okay, again, that is what I call the second recruitment video. Now he's probably had more, but he's probably making them private so people like me can't hear it. However, that was concerning to me. That was concerning, and I don't know too much about the cult, so we'll be learning together. And as I went back and I did some research, and y'all told me, I gotta let y'all listen to one more. I'm sorry, I gotta let y'all listen to one more, but I didn't want y'all to say, "Oh, more, you don't know what you're talking about." So I went and started paying attention myself to some of the verbiage used, how they persuaded people. I literally just wanted to know, like, how could people just be so naive and closed-minded or whatever? But I'm finding out that it's not even about them being so naive. It's always somebody looking for change. It's like a cult leader provides to people the same thing, in my opinion, a pastor provides to people. People looking for coverage. You know what I'm saying? They want to belong somewhere. They want to feel like they are a part of something. That's why a lot of people join churches and stuff like that or whatever. So with that being said, that's nothing but, cult leaders are almost like pastors. They provide a safe haven for you. They make you feel good. They make you feel like you're a part from everything else in the world, like you're special, you're a part of the elitists. You know what I'm saying? So let's look at one more video. I don't know if I'll play the whole entire thing, but I do want to play some of it.
Rise and shine, family. So listen, you guys know we're leaving the country. We've been talking about this now for actually several weeks. Our timeline was late June, July. You guys know we've been selling furniture, but things suddenly changed. And my landlord just hit me up saying he needs his property back on the 1st now.
Now, and I'm not going to go down this tangent because baby, I can. If I wanted to, I can. But I will just mention slightly This is the same house he just said his landlord said he needs his property back. This is the same house that he actually came out several years ago and said that he bought for his 2 wives. Now, if you know, you know. Okay. Now, I was actually given this information by somebody that's been following him for a while, but allegedly he came out and told people that he bought this property for his 2 wives, right? But now all of a sudden it's the landlord want his house back. So when you start telling lies, you got to be careful because you're going to have to continue to tell them, right? Continue to tell the lies to make sense because, yeah, he said this house he bought. Now, I want to read this right here. It says, we're leaving the country and we're not letting anyone stop us. Obstacles showed up. Okay, it says we've been month to month since December with plans to leave in late June or early July. Our landlord needed his place a month earlier, but we move forward, not in fear, but in faith and strategy. To our community, your support is helping us rise. Right now, we're selling everything, full home of furniture, indoor and outdoor, 2 vehicles. Consolidation calls have price. Okay, I think he mean, cancellation calls have price. Books by Kevin Wesley available on Amazon. Coaching services discounted for a limited time. This is bigger than a sale. It's a movement. Help us clear out, build up, and take flight. Call me. My direct line for furniture, blah, 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 blah. Okay. But what grabbed me here is he says, we're not letting anyone stop us, as if somebody was trying to. They love to try to put that scare tactic or try to victimize themselves like we're leaving and ain't nobody going to stop us. Who's trying to stop you? Did anybody try to step in and stop him from leaving? Nobody. Nobody. But that's a scare tactic. I don't care. I'm leaving. No one told you not to. Let's listen to a little bit more of this, and then we're going to go into the breakdown.
It screws everything up. I always say, like, whenever you go to do good, evil is always present. I believe when you go to do something righteous or something within your mission, your purpose, then obstacles are always present. So they're always.
Now, this kills me. This straight up ass manipulation. He literally is saying every time you go and try to do something good, meaning him wanting to move out of the country is good, right? When you go to do something good, evil shows up, obstacles happen. He's saying that in reference to the landlord needing his motherfucking place back a month earlier. How is that a bad thing? Huh? The landlord didn't know him and his family was too broke to move when you know, in the amount of the time that the lease tell them that they have to move. The lease tells you if the landlord want their place back, they have to give you a so many day notice. The landlord cannot deviate from that. If in the lease it says the landlord have to give you a 90-day notice, then a 90-day is what they give you, or a 30-day or 45-day, whatever you agreed to. Okay, whatever you agreed to. So now all of a sudden it's obstacles. It's a bad thing. It's evil. You know how he's trying to frame the landlord wanting his place a month earlier? Whether he told the landlord he wanted to leave or the landlord told him that he wanted his place back, nevertheless, now all of a sudden he's a victim of it. He's a victim of the landlord wanting his place back earlier.
Whenever you go to do good, evil is always present. I believe when you go to do something righteous or something within your mission, your purpose, then obstacles are always present. So they always present themselves. So be careful what you say out into the atmosphere, because manifesting it, you may not be aware of how the process may look. So
now, in my humble opinion, the reason why he's even speaking about be careful what you say in the universe, because just weeks prior to this, and literally weeks, just weeks, y'all, he came on flaunting the house, touring it, saying how, you know, how he lived in the mansion and how Callie lived in these rundown apartments with bad reviews. He was flexing. Look at my bedroom. Look at my outdoors patio. Look at my living room. Look at my 2 kitchens. Look at this. Look at my 3 floors. Look what I have and look what you don't have. And then the landlord said, boo-boo kitty, I need my house back. Okay? So that's why he said, be careful what you manifest out loud. Because he was literally poking fun and karma came and knocked on his door sooner than he actually thought. Okay? But let's continue.
Always present themselves. So be careful what you say out into the atmosphere, because manifesting it, you may not be aware how the process may look. So I'm saying that to say we're not going to let this stop us. But it is crunch time. Many of you guys are asking for pictures and things like that of the things we're selling in the home. I'm going to do you one better. Okay, we're doing an estate sale. We put out signs yesterday. They're pulling them up. So we're going to put one out to the public. If you're interested in any of this stuff, you can call me on my personal number at 980-320.
All right, so that's about it of the video. Now he's about to start showing the stuff off or whatever. We don't need to really even see that unless you plan on going and buy the stuff. I'm going to put my coffee link in here. If you guys want to tip me on this live, feel free. Y'all can buy me a coffee. I do appreciate y'all came through on that last live. That's why I didn't even set a goal on this one. But I am going to put my coffee link up because, baby, you can never have too many motherfucking coffees, okay? So if you guys want to buy me 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 coffees, I would greatly appreciate it. I literally just pinned it above. And coffees will be shouted out. If I see it, I'll shout it out during the live, but if not, I'll make sure I hit you up on the end, okay? But I do appreciate every coffee and every tip that you guys provide, all right? So let's get into this tea, okay? Again, we are doing a similarity. Now, this is not going to be full scope. I don't know if you was in my last live. These will be, like he talking about some tier 1, tier 2, and whatever the case. These will be in phases. We will build on as we go on, okay? Now, this is literally just, I'm gonna go down, or should I say, I'm gonna give you a little synopsis detailed of who Jim Jones is, because somebody said today, it was so funny. They said, who did y'all say it was? I think it was, I don't know, I don't want to put you out there, but she said, who is that? Pat Sajak or some shit or whatever. I was like, what? Anyway, I thought that was funny. But the white guy is Jim Jones, and the guy in the Indian suit is Nature Boy, and y'all already know who Kevin is. So let me give y'all, go over briefly who Jim Jones is. We're going to do him first, all right? So Jim Jones was a pastor of People's Temple, all right? He had this narcissistic savior complex. He saw himself as the only one who could fix racism, poverty, and injustice. Yeah. So he targeted black folk. Now, black folk wasn't the only victims of his, okay? Because and when I say he targeted black folks, he had a large black folks following. However, he targeted anybody willing to buy into his bullshit, okay? However, he thought, like I said, that he would fix racism. So he thought by telling people, come together as one, like a unity, black, white, Asian, everybody, let's come together as one. So he spoke about unity, and a lot of people want that here in America and all over the world, right? We love unity. We would love to come together and, kumbaya with each other and whatnot, right? So they fell for it by saying, oh, he's preaching unity, and, we come from a country full of racism, this, that, and the other. Oh, we love this guy because he's all about unity, and he's all about not the poor staying poor and the rich staying rich, but no, we fix poverty and we fix injustice, okay? So he became increasingly suspicious of outsiders and defectors, okay? He had a Messiah syndrome. He declared himself as God toward the end. Now, he didn't start off that way, so let's talk about how he started. In 1950 in Indiana, yeah, in America, Indiana, you guys, Indiana, all right? Began as a Christian pastor focused on racial integration and social justice, bringing people together. In 1955, he founded the People's Temple. He used progressive politics and humanitarian aid to attract members, especially Black families, elderly people, and guess who else? The poor. The poor. They always going after the poor people. You know, either the poor or the uneducated. That's who they target. You either poor or uneducated. That's how they roll. All right. So let's continue. He started it in Indiana, went from Indiana to California, and from California, he ended up in South America, Ghana. Not Ghana, Guyana. Guyana. It's two different ones. I always get them damn mixed up. But you got a Ghana, which is in Africa, and a Guyana, which is in South America. So there are two different ones, two different countries. So why did he do this? He initially claimed that he was fighting for injustice. Just like we heard Kevin say, you know, if you ever felt that this world is not for you, honey, if you ever felt that you were being unfairly treated, unfairly targeted, okay, that the odds were always against you. So he claimed that he was fighting for injustice. But over time, it became clear that he wanted absolute control, worship, and a closed system free of criticism. Y'all know these whole narcissists out here can't stand nobody criticizing them, okay? Let's talk about some of the key events and his fall. In 1978, he moved his followers to Jonestown, Guyana, to build a utopia. Yeah. Heaven on earth. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Let's establish some land and let's build our tribalism and let's live free and, help each other out and all that shit, right? But when Congressman Leroy Ryan flew in to investigate, Jones ordered his followers to unalive themselves. Yeah, to drink this portion. But he had got them so mentally manipulated that they did. Okay. Hours later, he forced over 900 people to drink cyanide lace flavored aid in a mass murder suicide. Total death was 918 humans, including over 300 children. So out of 918 people that drunk this laced flavored Kool-Aid, 300 of them were children. This went on from 1955 to 1978. Okay? 23 years he ran this cult. All right? We're going to get back on him in a minute. I'm only giving you a short overview about them. Let's go to Nature Boy right quick. His real name is, I don't know how to pronounce it, but it looks like Eligio Bishop, Eligio Bishop. I may have said it wrong, and if I did, please forgive me. But Eligio Bishop, Carbon Nation, okay? He had a grandiose delusion, claimed he was God, the Messiah, and the Son incarcerated. He had practiced poly relationships where he chose everyone's partner, often claiming women as his. So if he saw you in a relationship, he'd just go up to you and say, hey, you mine, come here, okay? He gaslit and programmed his followers. Followers were taught that they were gods too. So he told his followers, you are a god, but only if they obeyed him. Okay. So they wasn't a god if they didn't obey him. How did this start? Well, he was an ex-stripper and model turned online spiritual leader. So he was an ex-stripper and a model. And if I'm not mistaken, I heard that he got so, used to making money being a stripper and a model that he actually used to strip and he was gay for pay. Okay, let's just go on and say it out straight out. He didn't care where the money came from. So it was said that he would take even men money. All right. So gay for pay is what I heard. So anyway, again, so an ex-stripper and model turned online spiritual leader. He built his following through YouTube, offering teachings on nature living, escaping Babylon, and divine knowledge. Where did he operate out of? United States, then to Costa Rica, then to Honduras, then to Belize, then to Mexico, and then he ended up in Georgia. He claimed he was for spiritual elevation, but ultimately it was about power over women, sexual dominance, and financial support from followers via Cash App and gifts. Okay? Key events and his fall. He was known for mental, physical, and sexual abuse, including live streaming, fights, and confessions. Former members leaked horrific stories, and in 2022, he was arrested in Georgia on rape charges, false imprisonment, and cult activity charges. All right. Carbon Nation collapsed after key members left. He operated from 2016 to 2022. So 6 years, all right? And if I'm not mistaken, I think he was just found guilty not too long ago, and I think he has life in prison, all right? Now, let's talk about Kevin Wesley right quick. He is the owner and operator of True Factor and the Rise family. All right. He's victim turned savior persona, positioning himself as the wounded healer or cycle breaker. Okay. He's very charismatic. Okay. Uses his empowerment language to attract vulnerable followers, especially women, especially Black broken women. Okay. Spiritual entrepreneur, monetize healing, coaching, and tribe building with paid tiers, books, and sessions. How did he start? He gained his traction online with spiritual deconstruction content. Ex-pastor turned atheist. He once came out, he was a pastor, and then he said, I left religion, and had a lot of people to jump on board with him. That gave him a sense of power. He pivoted into coaching and then polygamy advocacy and lifestyle content with his wife, Jamie, and his baby mama, Lacey. Now shifting toward building a tribe overseas, mirroring cult leader patterns. Stay with me. Where is he going? Right now, he's based in Georgia, but he's since relocated to Colombia. All right. He said he did so for great health care and private school, but he also spoke of building a tribe. Why is he doing it? He claimed he wants to build a better world for his children, but red flags include tiered access, tier 1, criteria to join, financial incentive, book sales, coaching, cash apps, YouTube memberships, inviting followers to uproot their lives under his leadership. What are some of the red flags? Selling hope to hurt people, emotional triggers masked as spiritual healing, hidden hierarchy, only certain people would qualify, exclusion of outside opinion, says most people are vibrating too low. He started this shift in 2024 into now 2025. His patterns of behavior are unfolding in real time. Let's go over a little of the similarities, shall we? Now, these similarities that I will be pointing out, this is based on the recruitment speech, if you will. Hold on, I'm going to put it up for you. And I want you guys to check out the similarities. Hold on, let me do it like this. don't know if you guys can see that. But this says Kevin Wesley tried recruitment versus Jim Jones and Nature Boy. This is just the early stage, you guys. You remember when I told y'all to listen for certain words? I said that on purpose. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit so you guys can really take a look at this. Hold on. Can y'all see that? All right, let's go. Claims the world is broken. So we're gonna go over the tactics, okay? And the tactics and the person. So number one, claims the world is broken. Kevin Wesley said in his recruitment speech, the world won't get better in our lifetime, so we're creating our own. Jim Jones said, the world is full of racism, poverty, injustice. We need to build a new society. Nature Boy said, Babylon is corrupt. The system is broken. Come live in nature and escape the matrix. All three of them. The world won't get better in our lifetime. That's the same thing as saying the world is broken. Jim Jones, the world is full of racism. Let's build a new society. Nature Boy, Babylon is corrupt. The system is broken. Come live with me in nature and escape the matrix. Let's go number two, emotional appeal to outcasts. Kevin Wesley says, if you feel like a cycle breaker, out of place, or like the world isn't for you, then this is for you. Jim Jones says, are you poor, black, addicted, lost, rejected by society? Then you belong here with us. Nature Boy said, if you are woke, misunderstood, or seeking the truth, you're chosen. Come find your real family. So again, they are targeting, playing on people emotions, emotional appeal to outcasts. If you feel like a cycle breaker, if you feel out of place, if you feel this world isn't for you, then this is for you right here. If you're feeling down, if you're feeling broke, if you're feeling busted, if you feeling rejected, then you belong with us. Let's continue. Talk about legacy and healing. Kevin Wesley said, we're building what was never built for us, a true legacy. But first, we heal. And y'all know he went on to say we heal by forgetting everything we was taught, forgetting what our family done told us, forgetting false teachings. We heal, right? Jim Jones said, we're creating a utopia, a heaven on earth where we all matter. We heal through communal love. Nature Boy said, we're God, healing generational trauma, living in harmony. Let go of Western lies. Okay? They all talked about healing. Let's go and heal. Let go of what you was taught. Only listen to what I was taught. What I teach you, I'm sorry. Only hang on to what I teach you. Forget what you know. Forget what you heard. Forget what somebody said to you. Listen only to me. Number 4, financial funnel disguised as purpose. Kevin Wesley said, join my tier 1. Donate to the cause. Buy my books. Pay for coaching. Come to meetings. Jim Jones said, tithe and donations will fund our movement. We need resources to serve the mission. Nature Boy said, cash at me. Give up your material things. Submit to the God body. It's not about money. Number 5, sales relocation as salvation. Kevin says, we're leaving Georgia. Better health care, cheaper land, better life. Inbox me. Jim Jones said, we're moving to Guyana. Paradise, no racism, no oppression, total peace. Nature Boy said, come to Costa Rica, then Belize, then Mexico, then Honduras. We move as the spirit leads. Let's go to number 6. Preaches obedience and criteria. Kevin said, there's a criteria. We'll go over it in private. Everyone has to be aligned. Jim Jones said, you must be disciplined. No critics allowed. Only the faithful can stay in the temple. Nature Boy said, only the loyal remains. If you question me, you're infected with Babylon and you must go. Number 7, reinvent the family structure. Kevin says, modern family is broken. We're going to restore true community and real family values. Jim Jones said, we are one big family. Call me dad. We're sharing everything. No division. Nature Boy said, I am the spiritual father. The women are my wives. This is our new family. We rebirth society. Number 8, shut down outside influence. Kevin says, we can't bring false teaching, old wounds, or bad habits into new soil. Jim Jones said, we cut off the outside world. No media, no family. They're all corrupted. Nature Boy said, don't talk to your old friends or family. They are asleep. Only we are awake. Do you see the similarities? Do you see them? Do you see the similarities? And this is just the recruitment speech. But let's continue. Each one of them, Jim Jones, Nature Boy, and Kevin Wesley, have what in common? Let's go there. They're all 3 charismatic, claim to be chosen. Well, Jim Jones claimed to be chosen. Nature Boy claimed to be chosen, said he was God. And Kevin claimed to be chosen. Well, he didn't quite claim. He implied that he was a cycle breaker. A cycle breaker. Okay? All 3 monetized access. Jim Jones said tithe, send in your money to fund this mission. Nature Boy said cash out me money to fund this mission. And Kevin Wesley said tiered memberships and have price coaching to fund this mission. Encourage followers to relocate. All 3 of them did. Jim Jones, Nature Boy, Kevin Wesley. Sell your shit and come with me. Relocate. Create an insider versus outsider mentality. All 3 of them did that. Kevin Wesley, Nature Boy, and Jim Jones. Spiritual justification. All 3 of them. Jim Jones, Nature Boy, Kevin Wesley. Control over personal lives. Jim Jones did this. Nature Boy did this. And Kevin implied it by saying there are certain criteria. Now, because we did not listen to his private meeting, we don't know all the facts. So he implied it by saying, hey, you guys, there are certain criteria to meet this, okay, for you to be able to do this. Isolate from outside world. Jim Jones did this, Nature Boy, and Kevin Wesley, well, not yet, but he does discourage mainstream influence. Now, you guys may say, well, Amora, I didn't hear him say, don't listen to social media. He says you cannot bring false teachings with you. And basically, you have to cut off what you were taught. Forget the things that you were taught. Okay? So that discourages mainstream influence. All right? All right. Sexual control, polygamy. Jim Jones, rumored but not confirmed. Nature Boy, absolutely confirmed. And Kevin, polygamous content and tribe language. Deaths or abuse. Jim Jones had 918 deaths. Nature Boy had abuse claims and criminal charges. Kevin, no abuse, but psychological grooming traits are emerging. Kevin is currently in the early stage of cult building phase. Now, this is allegedly following some of the same emotional, spiritual, and financial recruitment tactics used by cult leader Jim Jones and cult leader Nature Boy. Okay? What they do first, they create a problem. They come out and they tell you the world is broken. You deserve better. They offer a solution by saying you deserve better. Follow me to build a new one. So again, I say they create a problem. They always create a problem. You're broke. The world is broke. You're poor. There's racism. Then they offer the solution. Follow me to build a new one. Filter out the unworthy. Monetize access and loyalty. Create distance from descenders. Now, right now, he has not reached no level of destruction as the other two. But the blueprint is clearly unfolding in front of our eyes. We're seeing the beginning of what we are allegedly saying is a cult. Now, again, I am not calling him a cult leader, but what I'm saying is he has similar starts, okay? Recruitment tactics to a cult leader, okay? Some of the similar words we're going to break down again. He's using the exact playbook, just modernized, all right? Some of the terminology has changed. So he's saying tier 1, where it used to be called tithes, okay? Join the truth factor instead of follow me to Guyana. Polygamy, welcome instead of I am your spiritual father. But the mechanics are identical: to exploit pain, promise utopia, create paywalls, require obedience, isolate the group, and center the leader as the healer, savior, and the visionary. All right? You don't need Guyana or a jungle to start a cult. All you need is a charismatic man with a sad story, a cash app, and a camera. Kevin may say that this isn't about polygamy or control, but he's checking off every stage box that Jim Jones and Nature Boy checked off. This is not healing. It's called grooming. He is actually grooming. You ever felt lost? You ever felt that this world is not for you? He's appealing to emotionally broke people, but he called them woke. Oh, you're woke. You know. So let's talk about some of the red flags and contradictions, okay? He may pretend that this isn't a cult pitch, all right? Before you pack a bag, this isn't a sabbatical or some free living experience. So basically, he's saying that because he's already heard the criticism. When he said that, oh, I got overwhelming response, some people probably got in his inbox or even under his comments and said it was a cult. So he came back and said, this isn't a sabbatical or some free living experiment. All right? But wait a minute, excuse me. He's already heard the criticism that this sounds like a cult, a spiritual escape, or a poly scam, right? So now he's trying to defend it by using language like, no, this is a cycle breaker, a new world Born to create legacy, old wounds, and false teaching. This is classic love bombing meets savior complex. He denies that this is about poly, but then he goes on and say, it's not a poly community, but whether you're single, monogamous, or polygamous, you're welcome. So it's not about poly, but poly people can absolutely come. All right. He's still leaving the door open wide for his known poly lifestyle because he know they're going to show up. That's why he mentioned them. He says, you were born to build a new world, equal Messiah framing. If your soul tells you you're a cycle breaker, this might be you. He's framing this as a calling, but it's tied to his tribe, his teaching, his platform. That's how many charismatic manipulators recruit the broken or the seeking. They sell a purpose, but the purpose only exists under their direction, okay? He tells you to leave your baggage, except he brought 20 bags, didn't he? Not only did he bring 20 bags, he brought, it says we can't bring false teaching or old wounds into new soil, but did he? Now, we're not talking about the baggage, like your clothes or whatever, even though he did. But Kevin took over with him unresolved family issues, as we saw him blast on line with his sister, went back when she was 13 years old and broke in his apartment and stole his clothes or wet his clothes or did something to his clothes, right? Those are unresolved family issues. He also still attacking and shaming people online, okay? So that's damage. That's shit that he took over there. But now he's telling other people, you can't bring false teaching or old wounds into new soil. But did he not take that to new soil? He's over in Colombia right now doing the same ass shit he was doing in Georgia. Going live, talking about his obsession, Cali. Remember? Going live for 4, 5, 6 hours. Dragging Cali. Is that not the same thing? It's called spiritual hypocrisy. All right? He's a hypocrite. He's telling people, don't bring the old shit that you had going on back there. Come to this new soil with a renewed mind. But yet he's doing the exact same thing that he was doing before he left. He's positioning himself as healed, obedient, and that he is the blueprint. Who's going to follow his unhealed, non-obedient ass? Who would do that? It's a funnel, not a movement, he said. Go to my YouTube and join tier 1. This isn't free healing or community. This is a tiered paywall, a funnel. So let's be honest. This is a paid retreat with guru vibes, a content to cash strategy wrapped in legacy language. And the real product is Kevin. Kevin is selling himself. This ain't about to be no paradise. No, you're going over to serve Kevin. Kevin is going to make money from anybody that he recruits to come over there. That's why, in my opinion, he mentioned that HOA. There will be an ongoing fee for him to be your leader. Okay? What this all adds up to, a recruitment campaign that uses emotional pain and purpose to draw people in, promise community, healing, and family, but ultimately requires money, obedience, and access to Kevin to belong. Kevin wants you to think he's building a conscious village, but what he's building is a gated fantasy where you fund the dream and he plays mosses. He says it's not about polygamy, but makes space for polygamists. He says it's about healing, but brings his own dysfunctions to the new soil. He says it's not a cult, but you got to join a tier, pay a fee, and follow the rules. All but Also, you need to uproot your life. Okay? So does it sound like a cult to you? Sounds like one to me. Let's talk about the dangerous patterns in all three of these guys, Kevin Wesley, Jim Jones, and Nature Boy. They sell the pain. Stage one. Sell the pain. The world is broken. You've been lied to. You deserve better. They frame themselves as the only one brave enough to say this shit out loud. They validate pain, which is what draws people. That's how these pastors get your ass. I'm touching my forehead right now when the Lord just spoke to me and told me somebody out there is broke, don't have the finances right now, but they want it. In the name of the Father, if you want the money, if you want the good job, if you want the good husband, if you want your kids to do better, if you want a promotion right now, in the name of Jesus, I need you to sow a seed. God says somewhere around any, many, many, more, $100. If you sow $100 right now in the name of the Father, you may get this job. You may get this man. You may get this promotion. Your kids might start acting right. Okay? Sell the pain. They frame themselves as the only one brave enough to say it out loud. They validate pain, which is what draws people in. Stage two, offer the escape. Come with me. Let's build a better world together forever. But in reality, it's not about unity. It's about followers making sacrifice while the leader gets power, comfort, and loyalty. You have to understand, when you join these types of tribalizations, there will be a leader that's going to be comfortable, that's going to be powerful, and you have to be loyal to your leader. Stage three, funnel the money, join the tiers, donate, buy my teachings, sell your stuff. This is where the emotional dream becomes transactional, and those who pay the most often get favored access. Yeah, so make sure you bring your fat ass wallet. You pay more, you get treated better. Same like a church, right? The highest payer in the church, they get shouted out and shit. They probably get put it on the damn ministry board. Okay, you a pastor. We're going to make you co-pastor because you got a fat wallet. You want to be the co-pastor? The secretary, the deacon, what do you want to be? Stage four, filter the followers. There's a criteria. Only certain people can come. This filters out skeptics. It builds exclusivity, and rewards submission. But by the time people get in, they're primed to follow the leader without questions. Number five, dismantle outside logic. You can't bring that trauma or false teachings with you. This is code for don't bring outside opinions, don't bring therapy, facts, or common sense into this tribe. Forget everything it is you know and only follow and listen to me. All right? Let's continue. Cult leader recruitment speeches. Jim Jones says his early sermons showcase his rhetoric on justice, quality, and spiritual liberation, charismatic appeal that drew diverse followers and targeted vulnerable communities. The beginning of his us versus them narrative and vision of society transformation. All right. Nature Boy, it says he had a sex cult. Carbonation leader, Nature Boy, speaks on his cult members' betrayal after his arrest. While this isn't the earliest pitch, it includes key recruitment rhetoric, framing, ideological betrayal, rebuilding nature based on utopia, establishing leader-centric loyalty, language that echoed early stage of cult dynamic. But his early initial pitch video may be limited online, but the narrative and styles are consistent with foundational recruitment messages. Thank you, Tinkerbell. She says, hold on. Give me a second, you guys. I got to put it up. That mofo is always talking about a legacy. What does he mean by legacy? He doesn't have shit. How do you leave a legacy of nothing? Also, how does he figure he is going to another country and set up his own village without fallout from that country? I don't know. I actually don't know, but it seems like they do it. If the money's right, in my opinion, if he's able to get people to fund, I heard through the grapevine, I don't know how true it is, but I heard that he said he needed at least $30,000 to do whatever he's trying to do. So maybe he said, let me get to this amount of money. That's the tier one. Help me get the money to get the land, to build the village. You know what I'm saying? To start the tribe, and then y'all can start coming over. But I don't think right now anybody can come over. I mean, and this is just my thought process. Anybody can't come over unless they, have the money on their own and they can survive. But they have to wait. They have to send the money to him and wait till he's able to get the land and build what it is that he's trying to build. But I'm gonna be keeping up with it. Trust me. Okay. Thank you, Tinkerbell. Hold on. I'm gonna let you see. Do I want to do that one? Okay, he's in jail, so I'll probably be able to do it, huh? All right, let's do the. I'm gonna do this one. Oh, why it's not letting me do it? Hold on. Hold on, y'all. I think I am gonna try to play this one just a little bit anyway. Not the whole thing, but just a little bit. All right, hold on. It's his. I don't know if this is his wife or baby mama. I think it's his baby mama, but she may have been one of his wives. But let's listen to how she says she was recruited. Give me a second. Why is it not showing on the screen? Okay, hold on. All right, here we go. We're not gonna listen to the whole thing because it is about an hour, but we're not gonna listen to the whole thing, just a little bit.
And I want to kind of lead up to what carbonation situation was for you, your interest in that. But let's start with your beginning. Where are you from?
I'm originally from Florence, Louisiana. I'm currently 25. Actually, I'm 26.
So this is ex-Carbonation cult member and wife Velvet. She breaks down how she was recruited into this cult and how she escaped. Now, of course, we're not going to listen to all of it, just a little bit, okay? All right, let's go.
26 in February.
That's birthday.
Thank you. That's new for me, right?
You're over a milestone now. You're like, I don't know what they consider 26, but you're at that point.
We don't care nothing about that.
So the girls were born first. I was the third girl.
I don't care nothing about that.
That explains some things.
And then I got a divorce because I was the oldest. I became the mother of my younger sibling.
Okay.
That being the dynamic of my early childhood, I had no choice but to.
Okay, hold on.
Till 17 years of age, I was a mother.
So she was already a mother at 17, so she was broken, okay? She went into this broken. Let's go.
And with that being the dynamic of my early childhood, I had no choice but to think like an adult. So it made me think about other things that a child wouldn't think about, like spirituality, what's in the world. And my parents, because they had their own things going on, they weren't pouring into me like, you should know this, you should know that, it was other things that they had going on that they were dealing with emotionally that took away from raising me the way that I technically needed to be. And so with that being the case, I spurred off when I was 17. I ran away from home and by the time I was 17, I actually was into major organizations in my community. There was a group called Rethink that I got into, and that was more of like a cultural, economic type of reform group. So I was like in communities, like talking to people like, we should be thinking like this, we should be living like this. You know, going to high schools and talking to the high schoolers, like, you should really focus on your education, X, Y, Z, and why it's important. And so I made a big name for myself within Rethink alone. They actually put a memorial of me. I wasn't even passed away yet. I'm probably still there. This was in 2015, 2016.
Wow.
A picture of me with a dissertation, like, this girl is amazing, you know, at 17, 18. Following that, I joined an organization called Groundwork. That's global. That's like more of an agricultural type of organization where I actually went from different states in the United States because of this group to focus on economic development, you know, over the world. And so I was always into nature. I was always into agriculture. So by the time I decided to go to college, which I was like, in my mind, graduated high school, which I graduated alone. I graduated myself. My parents had no involvement with me graduating from high school because of the divorce, because of the dynamic, because of me running away. I pushed my family away. It was way too toxic for me. So when I thought about like what I wanted to do further my education after high school, I was completely over education because I'm like, these schools are not teaching me what I need to know. If you would have replaced this class with maybe agriculture or maybe with like me learning Spanish or something like that, you give me another opportunity, another avenue to learn through. Maybe I could be better at school, but you know, I wasn't failing. I wasn't a failure. It was just that I felt like the schooling system wasn't giving me enough to work with, you know, to learn from. And so I was like, I don't know if college is healthy. I don't know if that's something that I want to do. And I've always heard stories of my friends and my other sisters and, you know, people that I knew saying that once they got into college and they chose a profession that they had to switch it and change it because once they started studying it and how the school teaches it to you, they're uninterested. So I was like, why would I go invest my time? And then, you know, these are my thoughts at a young, you know. So by that time, 17 years old, the 12th grade, my parents run away. I'm constantly talking to the counselor. From 9th grade to 12th grade, I was always in the counselor's office, talking to the counselor, like, I'm sad, I'm depressed. Like, this is crazy.
So she was already broken. You can see the pattern of she's already mentally gone. She was trying to find somewhere to belong. Okay, you can just tell already she was lost in the sauce. She's young. She don't have nobody to just bring her in and say, I got you. Okay, so she was literally seeking. So I'm gonna move ahead because that's what it sounds like we're leading up to. But I want to find out how she met Nature Boy.
But I was very young also, so I never thought to like do background checks and like go look at him, like his past, you know.
Okay, let's back it up a little bit.
Agriculture, I'm on Facebook on the feed looking at agricultural stuff, and this carbonation popped up.
What do you see?
At the moment, it was of Nature Boy, and he was on the live with Yaya at the time, his wife at the time, and they were talking about living in tune with nature, being vegan, why it's important to, you know, disconnect yourself from certain things. I didn't look at it as too extreme. You know, because for me personally, that was something I was already doing without the influence of Nature Boy. So I was like, wow, so I clicked on his page and that spurred me to, you know, research a little bit. And that's when I came into contact with the group and I saw like, there was like profiles of different people who were in that same circle or culture or tribe or whatever. And I started going look at everybody else's pages and everybody else was like living it up in nature. Everybody was eating fruit. And not only were they people think that they were just living out there, but what I saw was when I started studying these people that was in that group, they were giving knowledge behind why they were eating the food that they were eating, why they were living in tune with nature the way that they were, why they were disconnecting from Babylon, as they would say, like they were giving the information of why, instead of just like posting it like, yeah, eating fruit is great. you know?
Right.
So, and I'm an information-based person, so that was cool to me, you know, but I was very young also, so I never thought to like do background checks and like go look at like his past, you know, I was,
Living in the moment.
you know, and I'm already depressed with life. I'm like, bruh, like this ain't even it. Like I'm in school, but I really don't want to be in school. I'm passing my classes, but it's draining to me, you know. So at that particular moment, I'm like, wow, this would be nice. I never thought to like go out there or live with them, but I was like, it would be nice to live a life where I can actually see myself thrive and also become more knowledgeable about what it is that I actually want to do and pursue in my life. And so I got into contact with one of the members that were there that were connected to Nature Board.
You reached out, really?
Yeah, I reached out to them, but Nature Board, me and Nature Board had never had any type of interaction, you know, at this point. And so it was a guy because he was the only person that I saw there that I could potentially have a connection with, whether it was platonic or romantic. So when we started talking, I was like asking him about his life. I'm asking, you know, this is what you do on the internet. You reach out to people, you connect, right? So this is what I'm doing. And one thing led to another. And astrology is big. So he's telling me his signs and this and that. And it seems like we have a lot in common. So our relationship evolved into a romantic relationship. And even still, it's about 2 weeks in, me and this guy is talking.
Damn.
Talk to Nation Boy, still haven't really like know who the leader. I don't even know that there is a leader. I didn't even know like them that. But the guy, he's like, you have to go through Nature Boy. You have to talk to him first to come through. And I didn't know what that meant. I'm like, what do you mean talk to him? I'm talking to you. Like, we're together. Like, what do you mean? And so, lo and behold, like underneath wraps, there was actually another.
There's so many red flags to this. This young lady literally just said she met a guy online and within 2 weeks that they were in a relationship. Like, come on already. And I'm not judging this young lady because trust, I believe that she's been through a lot. But there's so many red flags that I feel like we definitely, if you have young daughters or, you know, even adult young daughters, we definitely need to pour into our daughters, our kids, period, and communicate with them. But, you know, she already started off lost because 2 weeks of meeting somebody online and in a relationship, that just screams so, oh my God, scary to me. You know, that you can literally be in a relationship with somebody you just met online. But anyway, let's continue.
Remember, it was the Yaya wife at the time. She actually, but I never made the correlation until I actually had to reach out to Nature Boy to get through to him to go or to come, right? Yaya, she messaged me like some time, I think before I reached out to the guy, Omek or whatever. I think it was either a little bit before or after. I don't even remember, but she reached out to me and she was telling me how beautiful I was and, you know, like complimenting me in so many words. And so I'm like, okay, like I get that all the time. So it's not like it's anything new to me. But I guess that was her way of starting the conversation. But if we don't have nothing to talk about, I'm not gonna, you know, fast forward, that was Nature Boy's incentive. He used her to message me to say like I want to be like I want you to be my wife. But her at the time, she never was into the wife dynamic. And throughout the story, you'll be able to get more just into the story of how it actually played out. But Yaya never was with it because of the emotional, verbal, and spiritual and physical abuse that he was doing behind closed doors at the time. So she never was like, I want you to be, she never did what he told her to do. She was just messaging me just to make it seem like she was trying. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And so, yeah. And so Nature Boy, I guess, like after some time, I found out that it was some friction between him and Omek because Nature Boy wanted me to come, but he didn't want me to come because he wanted me to be with him, but I wanted to be with Omek. And it was like a dynamic that I had no idea of. And Omek didn't either. So Nature Boy was doing a lot of stuff behind closed doors that nobody was aware about. So eventually, because I was so persistent and consistent with the relationship that I had, from jump. Nature Boy was like, all right, cool, she can come. So I get there, I go there, I drop out of college, I go there.
Damn.
I'm failing college at this point.
Yeah, you're failing. And where are you going? Where are they at now?
They are in Costa Rica.
Costa Rica, okay.
Yeah. And so I get there.
Damn.
And there's like we get to this restaurant, he takes us all to eat. And there's a conversation about me being sure about what it is that I want. And if anybody knows Velvet or they'd rather get the time to get to know me, you will know that I know what I want. I might not have certain details because I'm still young and I'm figuring it out and I'm perfect.
I can tell that she's very articulate, and I can tell that especially if she's just, this was 2 years ago, so she's 27 now, but she was 20, actually she's 20, she was 26 then, so she's 28 now. I can already tell that she was grounded, but she just needed a little bit more guidance. Very smart. She's very smart. You can tell she knows what she wants, but she needed some more guidance. She didn't have the right guidance. If she had the right guidance, she would have never, linked up with him. But let's continue.
My ideas as I go, but I know what I want. So I'm having this conversation with him in front of the tribe, in front of Omek. He's like, "You sure you want to be with Omek? You sure?" And I'm sitting there and I'm like, "Yes, Nature Boy." To me and Omek, he's asking me about Omek. Like, "Are you sure you want to be with him? You sure you don't want to be with somebody else?" Trying to like spin it like that. And I'm like, I said I wanted to be with Omek. I said I'm with Omek, and I'm currently with him. That's what it is. That's what it's gonna be.
Exactly, Rita.
All right, cool. Blah blah blah. We get it. Fast forward. I was never close enough to Nature Boy to know that he was physically and emotionally, verbally, and spiritually abusing the women that he was around. I was always with the guys. I was a guy. I was in the field going to get fruit and bringing it back to the home so that we can eat fruit. I was going to the waterfalls, harnessing water with the guys and bringing it back. And now me and these guys, our dynamic was so cool to the point where I could be shirtless, topless, and these guys wouldn't even like look at me wrong or me feel like they was trying. That's how cool the dynamic was.
Damn.
Right? In this situation.
Right.
But it started to get really tricky and weird because Nature Boy was he was teaching us that we should do certain things like be topless, like be open to being in relation with other people if it doesn't work out with the relationship you were currently in. There was always a massaging, like persuasive type of vibe going on when it came to that dynamic. So the relationship with me and Omek got really sticky because Nature Boy will pull both of us to the side and tell Omek one thing and tell me one thing. Like he'll tell Omek she doesn't really want to be with you, or she really likes me, or whatever the case may be, or she did this or she did that, or try to twist something and manipulate something, just try to make it seem like I didn't want to be with him, and he would do it vice versa. He would tell me like, Omek doesn't want to be with you. He doesn't care about you. It was like that at an all-time high. So this relationship with me and Omek lasted for a duration of 9 months.
Oh, wow.
I humbly and honorably got out of that relationship with Omek because at that juncture of me breaking up with him, I knew that it wasn't going to work out. And the last thing that I'm into is leading people on. So I broke up with him.
You knew it wasn't going to work out because of what?
Because of the dynamic between him, Nature Boy, me. Omek was also on the verge of like unraveling his mind from the cult. So like while he was unraveling his mind, I was raveling in.
Right. So Nature Boy, what he's saying, and I have to ask you is, are you intrigued with him and what he's saying based on his persuasion of what's going on? Like, hey, he's not liking you and you're not saying it.
No.
So
I'm completely looking at Nature Boy like, this is my father. This is a father figure. This is somebody, this guy, I'm 21. This guy's like 34, 35, 36. I'm not looking at no grown ass man. I'm the youngest.
They love these young women. Oh my God, they play on these young women.
I'm not looking at no man. You know what I'm saying? I'm wanting to be with somebody that's my age. I'm looking at myself as even a teenager. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not thinking about it like that. I'm not even thinking that he's trying to get with me, because I remember when I had no experience being social, because I've always been in the home. I've always been around other kids. I've always been taking care of other kids. So my dynamic with being social is off. You know, at this point, it's like one of my first real interactions outside of being in college, and I never really was social in college because everybody was doing shit that I didn't do. I didn't party. I didn't do the thing, you know, that college kids. So moving forward, me and Omek get out of the relationship. He winds up leaving like the next day, and I decided to be on my own. And I said I want to be single and I want to, you know, be solo. Nature Boy, on the other hand, when I tell you, bro, this nigga love bombed the shit out of me. I didn't even know what that was until
Like the next day, or like Omek is leaving, and when you say love bomb, like how quickly does he attack?
I break up, and
You know, one thing I love that even though she been through what she went through, she is very aware now. You understand what I'm saying? Like she knows what happened to her. So whether she went and got counseling, therapy, whatever the case may be, she knows what happened to her. Okay, let's go.
with Omek, like right now, I break up with Omek. 5 minutes later, like after me and Omek's done every conversation, Nature Boy is like telling one of his wives or one of the women that's close to him, go tell her I like her cookies. Go tell her I like the scarf she's wearing. Go tell her I like the wrap she's wearing. Go tell her that she's doing good in the curriculum. Go, you know, and these women are coming to me like, Nature Boy really likes you, you know. You know, like making it cool, making it a thing. And I'm like, I just got out of a relationship. In my mind, like I just got out of a relationship, you know. I'm trying to focus on the knowledge because that's what I went there for. Regardless of me getting into a relationship with Omek at the initial point, the entire relationship that me and Omek had revolved around the knowledge. This nigga would literally teach me everything, and I would be like, I got that. I know that. I understand that. And if it was something that I didn't know, it was like being reminded, because most of the information that's being talked about is something that is already innate inside of me, and which is why I want to be in nature in the first place. So with that being the case, moving forward, and to fast forward just a little bit in the story, I wound up making the decision to be with Nature Boy because he's love bombing me so hard. I feel like I'm back in the corner with like a guy being like, I love you, I'm gonna beat you, I love you. I'm like, okay, well, if you love me, all right, cool, like, let's get together. You know what I'm saying? Let's do it. That's the honest truth. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's do it. He's currently in a relationship with Nature Boy. He's currently in a relationship with 3 women. Those women, from my understanding now, looking back, every woman that he's ever gotten with was never based off of any value. It was never based off of what that woman could have offered. It was never based off of having children with those women. It was strictly off of having sexual relations with them, just to sleep with them, just to experience them because of whatever fanatical fetish he had.
There was like a body phase, the sexual tendencies. Like,
yes.
Oh.
That's what I feel with Nature Boy. You know, it had no substance. Any relationship he has ever gotten in had no substance. So when I got into that dynamic, I went into a polygamous relationship knowingly. Got into that dynamic. If you've ever watched me on my own blossom and grow without the drama, I'm a literal flower. I have so many skills and talents. I still have even unraveled within myself because of the drama, because of the chaos. So with that being the case, these women naturally felt intimidated because what I realized, and even within myself at some point in time, the reason why I was even able to be with Nature Boy was because of some type of low self-esteem that I had within myself, or tried to find love in all the wrong places, or, you know, just...
That's what I'm talking about right there. She's very aware that she was broken as well. She knew that she wasn't in the right space, right mind. She didn't have it together. So, and the reason why I'm pointing this out is because that's literally the first step to healing. And that is recognizing that you got a problem, you got issues, insecurities, and broken, and not being grounded, and those things. So she knows she came from her mentality was not on point when she met up with this guy.
Not be confident within myself, like to know, like to exactly know, like, or and then on another spin to it as well is because of my lack of experience in the world as well. So I tied both of those together. But I said that to say this: those women, from what I've experienced, they didn't have no self-esteem. That's the truth. I was the woman in these situations in every single instance, from the women that I've got into it with in the first place, in the beginning of our relationship to the motherfucking end. I was the one to tell these women, you're good at this. You obviously are doing it. You're good at that. Be happy with that. Hone into that. That is your gift. That is your skill. Stop trying to be like me. Stop trying to be like her. This is what you do. And when you're a collective, when you're a community, when you're a family, you know your strengths and you know your weaknesses and you know your opponents, or not even opponents, but you know your family members, and you guys come together on your strengths and you guys work it out with your weaknesses. That's what you do.
So I have to ask you, do you feel like Carbonation and Nature Boy, just in general Carbonation, that they pulled in women who had those weaknesses or who had those insecurities or who were weaker in a sense? Do you feel like that was the overall goal of the women that you've seen that was within the nation?
Yes. Yes, I do. I think Nature Boy thrived off the fact that he could reel in women who didn't see their own self-worth. Because for a mind like his, those type of men with those personality characteristics, they target women who have come from broken families, who have daddy issues, who have mommy issues.
That is so important to know. That's exactly, from my studies of narcissistic men. They target damaged women, like she said, who come from single families. They broke, they need money, they need help, they need a push, they have nobody else to turn to, so they target those women. And somebody said it in the comments, I can't remember who said it, but I said it's passed by, but they said men don't like women like her. Okay, so she probably start getting beat when she start expressing her intelligence. You know what I'm saying? Men don't like woke women. She's woke. They don't like that. They don't like women that know that they are manipulators and gaslighters and narcissistic. They don't like that. They want women that, in my opinion, that think like, from what I see, surface level, JC and Lacey, the yes sir, yes this, yes that, good, that agrees with their bullshit. You know what I'm saying? They like women like that. They don't like the women that go against the grain, okay, or speak their own mind, and develop their own opinions. They just want full submissive, do whatever you tell them to do type women. All right. They call them submissive, but some women don't know what being submissive even means. Okay. You got to have a real leader in order to be submissive. Okay.
Who have childhood trauma, who, it's that's easy prey. That's a no-brainer, And so and I don't look down upon any of these women because of their weaknesses, because I have mine too. My thing was coming out of our weaknesses and knowing our strengths. But because I've already realized some of my strengths coming into carbonation, those women were intimidated because I was already naturally in my strengths. I'm doing it, I'm being it, I'm actively living it. So those women exited the relationship. They couldn't handle, and because I was me, Nature Boy was falling in love with me. He didn't want to fall in love with me. He fell in love with me because I am who I am. He fell in love with who I was, And then on another note, fell in love with an idea of who he thought he could turn me into. See, which he didn't know that he could never turn me into the person who he thought he could. But those women left the relationship. I was still there for them. I didn't make fun of them. I never made them feel like shit or anything like that. I just kept it moving, you know? But for some reason, Nature Boy.
So it sounds like he actually liked her strength. He was attracted to it, but he liked her strength, but he wanted her to be his doormat, or he still wanted total control over her, but he liked the fact that she was smarter and, intelligent and, just, I ain't gonna say totally confident, but he liked the fact that she wasn't just a pushover, but at the same time, he wanted her to be under his control. Even though knowing that she was intelligent, he still wanted to control her.
Always had the mind and the idea and the heart to want to turn these women against each other, not even towards me, but to each other. And so he would talk to each woman individually, have sex with them, and pour into them like great things, and then tell the next woman she ain't shit. And then so the next one would be in competition with the other one, and then the other one is just messy and chaotic.
And I believe that goes on probably in all poly relationships. Now, of course, this is my own opinion. I'm going to say what I want to say. But I believe that in these poly relationships, they do exactly that. They try to get these women to compete against each other. They may tell one woman that, such and such is loyal. You're not being loyal. You're not loyal enough. She's very loyal. You know what I'm saying? She'll do whatever. Like, you're not doing that. Like, you need to up your game. You're not as loyal to me as she is. She has my back 100%, and you don't. And that makes the other woman step up and say, I do have your back. What do you need me to do? How can I show you that I have your back? I guarantee you in these poly relationships, they're doing exactly that. They're making one woman feel like she's not as loyal, not as invested, not as available the way she should be to him, the way the other woman is.
I have to ask, let's just get perspective. You were in combination for how long? Let's just say.
About the same amount of time, like 4 years, from 2017 to 2020.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's say this. You end up becoming Nature's Boy's main, I guess you could say, wife. And is that wife on paper, or is it just wife?
This is wife in real life.
Like,
this
wife,
is
like there's a ceremony, or there's a like how does it work? Like,
I can tell you the story. So fast forwarding. After those women left, it was me and Nature Boy in a monogamous relationship for an extended amount of time. That's where he got me really open to like trust him and like have the idea to be polygamous with him and take on new wives. So as we were going through that process over time, I started to like allow these women to come in, but I never had a say so. I never got to choose these women. I never really got a chance to know these women prior to coming into the relationship. So I was always at odds with him. And so that turned really physically abusive. So because he didn't want me to leave and he didn't want me to have my own things and be my own person, he would confiscate my passport, all my documentation, all my identification, he would take it. So
we've heard these stories before, haven't we? Interesting.
Years, fast forward to 2020, I believe that was 2020. Over the course of all these years, he had my documentation, and one day he came to me with my documentation confiscated all the way over there somewhere. I don't know where it is. Wow. He comes to me one day and he's like, hey, I'm gonna marry you. After 3 years of talking to me about why marriage is important, why we shouldn't get married, why is,
Didn't we just hear that also? In an interview, we heard that marriage is basically an American thing. It's just, a piece of paper, which marriage is just a piece of paper. But then we just hear that, like something against marriage, that they would rather just not be married, but have an agreement with each other. Yeah, we did.
denouncing spirituality. And I'm like, you want to marry me? For real?
Wow.
And in my mind, I'm planning my escape. This is in 2020. April of 2020. I didn't successfully escape until November of 2020.
COVID just hit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's telling me this, and I'm like, but wait, what about the knowledge? I'm like, you can't get married. That goes against everything you just said. That goes against everything. So I'm trying to talk him out of his idea. He's like, no, because if I get into trouble, if I get into this or I get into that, you can get me out. You'll take the flag for whatever it is that I'm doing. I was like, in my mind, I'm like, oh my God, I gotta get away from this.
Saw it as a play versus.
Yes.
Damn.
He said this to me. And then the next day he comes to me and he's like, we're just gonna make it a group thing. I'm gonna get that married, I'm gonna get that married, I'm gonna get that married, I'm gonna get that married. And I'm like, this is a total fucking disaster.
Can I ask you a question?
Mhm.
I want to go back. You mentioned before the abuse, you got with Nature Boy. I have to ask you, when did the abuse start and what was that abuse early on?
The abuse started when I was about 4 months pregnant.
Okay.
How far in a relationship were you pregnant? Like, I know you said 4 years overall, but how far were you into?
I was about a year, maybe 2-3 months in in the actual situation. Like a year and 3
months.
Yeah. In the actual situation.
9 months, you're no longer with the first situation. Now you're with Nature Boy, and that's it happening. So about a few months, within a year after being with Nature Boy, you're pregnant now.
Yeah.
And you're 3 months pregnant. And like if you could talk about the first instance where you felt like, what's going on?
Well, at this point, when I realized, because at first I didn't realize it, because he was never physical. Like at first, when it first started, the abuse first started, he was never physical. He was always emotional and verbal. But I never looked at that as abuse because I come from that. I grew up with that. That's a normal thing in my mind.
And that's exactly why there's a lot of flying monkeys, because they normalized abuse. She just admitted that she didn't know the verbal and mental and emotional abuse was abuse because she looked at it as normal. Just like a lot of those flying monkeys that go after Brianna, they normalized the abuse. So what she called abuse, they said, no, it's not abuse. You just a spoiled brat. You should have just took it. Okay. All right, let's go.
So one day we was living in peace, and it was a situation where a woman came, the girl Kendra, Sheba, she came to Belize, and he wanted to be in a relationship with her, and I said no, and I was completely against it. She was a virgin at this time, and he wanted to take her virginity, and he told me that he wanted to do that, and I was like, no, you're not doing that, not on my watch. And he physically abused me right then and there. And this was about 3-4 months pregnant. And from that initial moment, it was all he wrote, rather. And that's when I started experiencing physical abuse from him.
So, Bella, I have to ask you, what was your reaction to that physical abuse? Because sometimes in relationships, based on how you react is how things will continue or carry on. What was your initial reaction upon that initial situation?
I was fighting his ass back. Like, we was fighting. So this led to him being more extreme. Like, you hypothetically speaking, you physically abuse somebody and they back down, you're not going to abuse them because they backing down unless you a real psychotic person and want to abuse that. But that wasn't the case. He physically abused me to a small degree. And I was like, you ain't gonna hit me, period. Like, so I'm fighting him. Like, we fighting. But now he's choking me out. Because he need to get me to stop trying to fight him back. Now he's like trying to exile me from existence because I'm trying to fight him back. So in my mind, and at this juncture still has my documents confiscated all the way over there somewhere where I don't know. I'm like, okay, how can I not be in a situation where I'm gonna get strangled and not get abused. So it always turned into me doing what he wanted me to do, but I could never get with it. So it will always be physical and then ending in him choking me out and blacking out. And then waking up and being like, I still don't have my documentation. I'm 5 months pregnant now. I'm 6 months pregnant now. I'm 7 months pregnant now. Still don't have my documentation. I'm 7 months pregnant now. I'm 8 months pregnant. I'm having a baby now. I still don't have my documentation. How the fuck I'm gonna get out? How I'm gonna leave? Still also while not wanting to do the things that he wanted me to do. So I'll just back down and be like, you know what? Fuck everybody. I don't even care. But my body is shutting down. I'm shutting down. So he's angry with me because I can't physically perform with him or be with him. So he's forcing me at this point with the women, without the women. And I'm sitting there like, leave. So I'm going through this tug of war online because he's recording me, making it seem like to the world that I'm just crazy and I don't really know what I want. But he's got all my shit confiscated. We in the middle of nowhere in a foreign country. I'm pregnant. I have no communication with my family for almost 2 years at this point. You know, so I'm just like, this was in the beginning though. You know, after I had Eliana, that's when I started thinking about, I really want the father, you know, because I'm not thinking, as I'm having her, I'm not thinking that he's actually like crazy. I'm not thinking like this man would try to do anything to destroy me. I'm not thinking like that. I'm thinking that he's just coming from trauma just like me. And I have to give him grace. I have to love him through his pain. I have to love him through his trauma. And that was one of his big things too. Like, you have to stay by your black man's side. You can't leave him. You can't give up on him.
Damn, man, this is deep. Y'all, this is my first time hearing this. Y'all, I am so into this. I said I wasn't gonna play this whole video, but I can't stop, y'all. I cannot stop. Listen, I hope I don't get struck for this, but if I do, I'll just delete this part of the video. But I gotta hear the rest of it because, baby, some of this stuff sounds so familiar. We've heard these things online already. Love him through his pain. Like, we've heard this stuff. I tried to love him. I wanted to love him through his pain, get him through his trauma. Like, some of these things we literally heard. You understand what I'm saying? So let's continue, you guys.
You gotta go through some things to, you know, love doesn't come easy. And I'm in one of those states and I'm like, I'm considering, you know, considering him, considering Ellie. So I'm putting myself on the back burner and taking on things that I shouldn't necessarily have to because I want him to be better. And I also want a future for my child that I technically never had as a child. I'm fighting for that. So I'll stay in a relationship. When I did have a chance to get my documentation, I did leave. But the only reason why I went back 3 times.
To Ohio, or were you leaving to?
Well, this also, over the time span of 4 years, I left maybe about 3 times, and then I went back. Yeah. And the only reason why I went back was because Nature Boy would get me on the phone, and he would be like, I'm gonna not be in this polygamous relationships anymore. We're gonna make it work. We're gonna do what we have to do to heal from our traumas. You know, sweet talking me, wooing me, you know, being romantic, doing all the things that he can to get me back in his presence. And I'm like, he's already the father of my child. I want to make it work for the sake of my child. So I'm like, all right, cool. Every single time I went back, within a matter of 2 weeks, we was already in a polygamous relationship. He was already physically abusing me. So I'm like, now the first 2 times I left and I went back, I never calculated in my mind that he would do it again. I'm not thinking that he's gonna do it. I'm thinking that we're gonna get better. I'm banking on the fact that we're gonna get better. We're gonna start healing. Man, that 3rd time I went back, the amount of physical abuse, mental abuse, emotional distress that I went through, that was it.
Can you speak on one of the worst times that you kind of dealt with? Like
the last time, November, from November of 2020, we were in California, I believe, because we kept getting deported from Costa Rica. We got deported from Costa Rica. We got deported from Mexico. So we would end up back in the States. We were in Las Vegas at the time because we did get married. And he bought me a van because one of my biggest dreams in life was to always be a van lifer. And so he bought me a van to, use that against me. And he drove me in this van back to Mexico. And once we got to Mexico, he decided that we were going to go move to Puerto Rico. And I'm trying to escape the whole time. Like, I'm trying to plan my exodus. So we wind up in Puerto Rico. Fast forward, we wind up in Puerto Rico. And the physical abuse went up a notch. Like him strangling me out has turned into like holding my neck longer, like no oxygen, like hitting me in my face, bust lips, bruise. I'm actually kept away from the tribe and from other people because my face is messed up. And he doesn't want other people to see that because he don't want them to think like he's bad or anything like that. So I'm kept away most of the time.
Damn.
So
Did he?
I'm like, okay. And I'm back in a situation where my documentation is gone. Physical abuse went up a notch. Now I gotta play a mastermind game. How do you play a mastermind game when you're not when you don't use things to your advantage to get what you want? So I'm like, okay, the best thing that I can do in this situation is allow everything to happen. Do all the sexual experience, actually encourage it. Encourage him being with other women. Encourage these women coming in. Encourage these women leaving out. Being in it, I had to sacrifice my own body to get me and my child out safely. So, long story short, I'm doing everything he want me to do. This man is doing and saying things I ain't never heard him say or do ever in the entire experience. Within a matter of 2 months, I was blown away. You know how much self-control I needed to have to be able to get my documents. So, long story short, when we traveled to Puerto Rico, we left the tribe. So he had to have my documentation in his presence. So I knew where I was. So every single moment, I'm tracking my documentation. Like, oh, it's right there. It's all right, cool. Yeah, I know. You can hold it. I know. You got it. Making everything cool, kosher. We in the house in Puerto Rico. I'm making plush palettes. I'm like, come on, Aya, come on, Malia, come on. Yeah, let's have now he's encouraging smoking and drinking now at this point. So I'm like, one night he's like, let's smoke, let's dip. I'm like, yes, let's do it. I'm getting everybody drunk. I'm rolling the blunts. Let's get high. I'm lighting them bitches, but I'm acting like I'm smoking. And I'm passing it to them. I'm like, y'all, yeah. I'm making the drinks. I'm popping them open. I'm like, y'all want another drink? Let's get it. Let's have fun. Got the music blasting. He is going crazy. He has a whole bottle of Hennessy. This nigga done damn near drunk the whole bottle of Hennessy. He on social media, on Instagram, going crazy. Like, spit coming out his mouth. I'm like, look at this man turn into a fucking demon in front of me. And all of the other women just as oblivious. And I'm like, every single moment that I got to sneak away, I'm packing my things. Let me take this shirt. Oh, he coming. All right, cool. Like, yeah, we having fun. Yeah. Go back in the back, sneak some more things. I'm actually creating a whole situation. You don't know that I already got my passports on lock stash. Me and Ellie already got them. Already done put them. I already done came up and scoped out everywhere. I'm actually got the women outside with me, looking around. While they thinking I'm engaging, I'm looking around at my surroundings. Oh, I can escape right there. I can leave right there. Fast forward into the night, they all fall asleep. I'm like, man, they not even about to get up. Everybody about to be hungover. My body naturally gets up at like 6:37. So I get up, and you know how you hungover, and it is not really until about maybe 10 o'clock, 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning when you in a hangover where you really start getting you really in a deep sleep and you start getting. So I go back to like, right now it's not the time. 6:30, 7 o'clock a.m. It's not the time. Let it sleep a little more. Let it marinate. So I lay back down. My body get up again at a natural timing. I leave Ellie on the pallet. I get up. I get my bag. And as I'm walking, there's a spot that I did not calculate because I couldn't see. a whole opening, the gate, because he always puts us in gets houses where there's gates around us so that we can't get out. This whole side of the fence is smashed over. I put my bag on the other side of the fence, go upstairs, get Ellie off the pallet. I got my harness sitting on the stairs. I'm putting my harness on, walking. As I'm walking down the steps, putting my baby in the harness, harnessing her to my back. No shoes on my feet, one bag, couple snacks, maybe some crackers and some nuts with some water. Walking in the middle of nowhere, don't speak no Spanish. I'm gone. Fuck all of it. I take the phone. They gave me all that. Give me that. That's mine. I take a couple monies on his wallet and everything. I'm like, that's mine. You know? So I get to where I gotta go. I find this.
Walking.
This was like, I want to say about maybe 4 or 5 blocks. And then I find this opening where it's like this construction site. And I'm like, maybe I can get Wi-Fi right there. So I go try to get Wi-Fi. I'm literally like this with an infant. I'm like trying to get Wi-Fi, got Wi-Fi, get in contact with a taxi company. I'm like, look, bro, I'm stranded. You know, how much is going to be to the airport? We 2 hours away from the airport. It's going to be $100. I'm like, look, I only got 40 hours. Yeah. He like, all right, I'm going to just come pick you up. He came pick me up, got to the airport. I deliberately told Isabel where I was because I wanted him to know that you were never going to see me again, ever. So he comes to the airport while I'm there trying to woo me, trying to talk to me. I'm letting him have, I'm telling him everything I wish I would have ever told him in my life. Standing there at the airport, I'm just...
He can't take you away.
He can't, because the police there and everything. I'm making sure that everything is cool to the point where he can't do nothing. So the police wound up telling him to leave because he getting irate because I'm letting him have it. He wound up leaving. He like really can't believe that I said no. Like he really can't wrap his mind around it because I always go back and I always fall for his bullshit. Get on that plane. That was the last time he saw me. And I've moved forward with protection orders. I have a trail. I have a paper trail still to this day. Court hearings coming up in the next 2 weeks. Divorce, all of that. To this day. This man can never be around me ever again, or the child that we gave birth to, period. Ever.
So I have to ask
He
you,
was smart.
From that moment to the moment of his arrest, how much time passes to where he's finally arrested, would you say?
So if I escaped in November of 2020 and he got arrested in April of last year, that was 2022, then however long that is, November, couple months, no more than a year.
Upon his arrest, where are you at? What's your status upon your exodus? And when you see his arrest, just give me your mindset as far as seeing this and kind of like your thought process on him finally getting arrested and kind of where you're in life at this moment.
I'm in Ohio. I lived in a DV shelter, a battered woman shelter, for about 9-10 months prior to getting my first apartment ever. But I'm in my own apartment at this time. I remember not having really what was I? I was in my second apartment. I had my second, because I was like, there was so many opportunities for me. I was getting so much done. I was like being great and things like that. I was on my second apartment and I was in there and everybody just kept hitting me up like, he got arrested. I'm like, that's great. Now he can't fuck with me no more. Now he can't harass me no more.
He was still reaching out to you?
He was just harassing me through other people. He would have the cult members contact me in my inbox saying weird things. He would, people randomly who he knew would be harassing me, sending me death threats, sending me all kind of stuff. Bitch, you're a bad mom, like all kind of stuff. You name it, it was done to me from people that was affiliated with him.
Smear campaign.
And so, yeah, I was like, great. As soon as I could, because the protection order was so hard for me to get, at that juncture of him being arrested, that was exactly what I needed. I took all of my evidence, all of my paperwork, everything that I needed, went to the courthouse in Ohio, presented it to the judge. I was granted a 5-year protection order right then and there.
I have to ask you, you said your body wouldn't function after giving birth and stuff like that. While being married to him, Do you feel that you were raped or a rape victim while being with him?
Yes, because of the fact that when I would tell him no, and I would be so adamant about it, like for instance, this is a great example. It wasn't physically penetration, but it was oral, whatever. He put out 2 videos of me giving him head. Those particular videos, prior to that, both times, about 2 to 3 hours prior to that event happening, I'm literally arguing him down like, I don't want to do this. I'm not doing this. Because each instance, he's wanting me to give him head with another woman. And I'm like, bro, you are raggedy as fuck. Like, leave me alone. Like, how about you? I'm telling him, go get another woman. But he insists that it's me. Like, he wants it to be me. And I'm like, no. So he's verbally abusing me, physically abusing me, emotionally abusing me, spiritually, every type of abuse he's doing to me for 2 to 3 hours prior to him recording this video. So at some point, I'm like, I will never stop arguing with him. I have to do this because I will never stop arguing with him. So I'm like, fuck it, let me just get it over with so I can go on about my day. And also I'm still each instant I'm simultaneously planning my escape also at the same time.
Did it happen to a situation where I heard that your boy had a situation where he was on OnlyFans, he was putting videos on Twitter, he was on Pornhub. Were you aware that he was putting these videos out online and like just like?
I didn't know. Actually, even the videos that he would take of me, I didn't know that he was like he would literally go to recruit women. He would use these videos as like bait. And like these women would watch whatever it was that he sent to them, even if it was a naked picture of me. And I caught him doing it one day because he never really allowed me in his phone. And if he did allow me in his phone, he would always delete things. So at this particular instance, I caught him doing it. And I told him, I said, listen, don't do that. Don't send naked videos and pictures out of me. I'm not comfortable with that. And he's like, all right, I'm not going to do it, blah, 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 blah. But just to fast forward and answer the question, no, I wasn't aware that he was doing these things. I didn't find out until somebody else told me that he was doing it. But I have never seen him put like a sex tape out of me. I don't know if it's out. Actually, I do. And even he lied about that. And that was back in Mexico. He leaked a sex tape of me and Sheba that he forced both of us to do. He forced me and Sheba to do that. Every sex, for me, I can't speak for these other women. For me, any sex tape that was leaked of me, he forced me to do, period. You know, but I didn't know that he was uploading it because he made it seem like other tribe members uploaded the video that was leaked of me. Now, the other 2 videos that he leaked of me, he deliberately did that after I escaped in November of 2020 because he was fucking mad because I was never coming back. And he had to tarnish and destroy me.
Do you ever feel like you're going to be able to testify in this trial? Are you planning on testifying in this trial? Do you plan on, have they reached out to you to even consider it?
They have reached out to me for evidence. They have never reached out to me to say like to testify or anything like that. But if I ever have an opportunity, yeah. Like, you think I'm not? Like, I was there. No one knows that most of my physical abuse was because I was standing up for the fairness and the just of the situation for me and everybody else involved. I fought for Solar and Zoka's relationship. I fought for their baby. I fought for Sheba and True's relationship.
Y'all, I'm so embedded in this now, y'all. I know some of y'all is like, Amore, don't go down the rabbit hole of Nature Boy. Leave it alone. It's too much. And his fan base is this, his fan base is that. But baby, I got to find out more about this brother right here. Do you hear me? I gotta find out more. But anyway, let's continue.
Hey, baby, I fought for Aya to have her own relationship. And this is when you see him recording me on camera with videos of yeah, it's Velvet's idea for everybody to be in monogamous relationships. I ain't never tell nobody to be with. Y'all be who y'all want to be with. I'm just saying that what you think that I'm getting from Nature Boy is what you deserve. You deserve a man to love you wholeheartedly, and I deserve the same thing, period. And because Nature Boy didn't want that to be, he would physically abuse me because of it. And everybody's looking at me as the demon. Everybody's looking at me as the person that's in between them sleeping with Nature Boy. So I'm just like, fuck all y'all. I realized that I was fighting for something that I needed to be really fighting for myself.
I have to ask you, to have Nature Boy's child, Alaya, and even to have it overseas, is that like in a hospital? Like you going to Puerto Rico? Like how was that experience as far as giving birth for the first time? Because again, you explained your upbringing. This is new to you.
Yeah.
To be able to give birth in another country.
Well, honestly answering that question, the abuse was so intense that I actually, so when a woman is pregnant, I don't know if a man can know this or even if men like actually understand this. When a woman is pregnant, she is emotionally tied to her body. I mean, all people should be, men and women. Some people are more than others. But in this instant, I was detached emotionally from me, from my body, from my baby, from my needs. I was completely detached because I was so stressed out. When I actually was in the process of going into labor, giving birth, and I couldn't even experience it. The only thing that I experienced was excruciating pain, like to a degree that I still can't even really describe. It's not even a description or an adjective that I can use to describe it. It's just excruciating pain. And all I know is that it was almost like having an out of body experience, like kind of your body is just there and your mind is just gone. Like my mind, I couldn't even correlate how much pain. That's how much pain I was in. It was like over the top. Like it was something I was just like, fuck this, I'm gonna die right quick. Like, and I gave birth to my child. Well, I actually had proceeded to get an epidural because it was so painful. Like, bro, it was so painful, bro. Lord have mercy. She got poured out with forceps. I was so emotionally detached from my body that my body wasn't even responding to the pregnancy. My body wasn't doing the natural things that it should have been doing while I was in labor. So they had to pull her out because she was dying inside of me. And I was like quite literally dead. Like if they would have never gave me the epidural and pulled her out with forceps, me and her would not be here today.
Wow.
Straight like that.
Wow.
And that was pretty intense because the experience that I thought I was going to have and the experience that I wanted to have was the complete opposite. So that was pretty painful. Now that I'm able to process it and now that I'm pregnant again and I'm emotionally attached to myself, actually,
How many kids does she have by him, you guys? Or did she have kids by somebody else? Y'all tell me. I'm gonna research it anyway, but y'all tell me if you know.
I'm literally crying because I'm like, bro, I couldn't even.
This was not it, yeah.
I'm processing it now. My daughter's 4 years old. I'm processing it now.
Wow. Wow. You mentioned Solar. I'm just curious. You get out, you have your exodus, you escape. You have your other daughter.
Fabiana.
Solar. How does he play into your life? How does he play into the picture, and how does he come into it? Y'all were there together. I'm assuming he left himself and you left yourself because your story doesn't involve Solar with your leaving.
Yeah.
But there was, I guess I don't want to call it Carbon Island, but the people who left Carbon Nation. Those people who all left or came, did what they did, left. You're part of one of those who are back in the States now. How are you and Solar coming together in this scenario, and how, like, what is that as far as coming together?
So for me, starting off with me, I was in prior to being with him or coming together with him, I was in a state where I was like strictly focused on self-love. I was strictly focused on healing, emotionally healing.
That's good.
Wound healing, all of that. I was like going on, like I was like damn near raw vegan. I was like extreme alkaline and pouring into myself, pouring into my children. This is when he gives a description of my home being a temple or being like a church, because that's quite literally what I was doing. I was like praying every day. I'm like literally like, I gotta heal, you know? And I was pouring so much into myself to the point where when you are on your healing journey, the trauma comes out. And so my platform has been an avenue that I have shared that trauma and poured and purged, you know, my trauma through and on, for maybe to inspire other people to go through their healing journeys and not beat themselves up in the process. And it was at that juncture when I was like totally into myself. Me and Solar, we had a little connection, but that was only because of material. Because I was like considered her friend at the time. But one day there was like so much stuff going on, and like certain things didn't add up to me because Nateri Janae, she would tell me one thing and I would give her advice, and then she wouldn't take it. And I started realizing that she was lying about certain things about Solar. Like she would call me to talk about Solar to me. And I'm like, I really don't care. I'm not even interested in y'all's relationship. That don't have nothing to do with me. So everything hit the fan with them. They broke up. Everything hit the fan. And I just, for me, when I have a heart for something, when I feel something is not true, you know, I'll act on it. I move on it. That's the place that I live from. So I reached out to Solar and I was like, you know what, bro, whatever's going on, I just hope you keep your head up. And I had that disposition with everybody who has ever left Carbonation, because, hey, I come from Carbonation. And I want the best for all of us at the end of the day. So, and I reached out to him. I gave him my condolences for whatever it was that he went through. And I felt for his situation with the child, and et cetera, because I also had my experiences with the child and things like that. And because I had a connection with Nateri, and because she was putting me into like a three-way, whatever, with them, I just felt the need to reach out to him, you know, to give that condolences to him. That sparked off into our relationship. From that moment, we didn't initially be like, oh, maybe we should be together. It was more like we were expressing ourselves to each other. You know, he would express all the things that I'm like, bro, I get it. Like, I share these experiences, you know, so I can only relate to you. And so that moment turned into another moment where we're opening more up, and we're realizing that we have more in common than we do different, than we do have differences. And so I'm like, I actually said it to him. I'm like, something like popped up in my mind, and I'm like the way he was expressing himself, it came from such a real place. Like I felt the love that he had inside of him. Like I felt that, you know, and I was like, why am I feeling this? I don't feel like I'm supposed to be feeling this. Like, why am I feeling it? You know, because somebody can express themselves from their heart, and you don't feel that love inside of you. But I felt it, and I was like, yeah, so I feel this. I acknowledged it. And he was like, no, maybe we shouldn't, you know. It was like one of those situations. He was like, nah, let's not jump the gun. Let's not, you know, let's just be. And I'm like, all right, cool, you're right. So we did. And then we just kept having conversation after conversation. And at some point we realized that our experiences lined up so interestingly that it was just like a no-brainer. It was like, it became a question, are we supposed to be together?
Wow. Wow.
And so we kept sharing experiences with each other, and it just got more intense and more intense and more intense. So we decided to come together. I'm like, I want to see you. I want to see you face to face. Because if I see you face to face, if I see you, then I know it's real. Yeah, when we saw each other face to face, we had on the same shoes. This was not planned. We had on the same shoes. We had on the same jacket. The same jackets. A jean jacket with fur on the collar. How the fuck, like where? So I'm looking at the synchronicity and the pattern. That don't just happen. So I'm like, mind you, I'm also considering his role that he played in my life without being in a romantic relationship with him. This man has gotten me everything that I needed before my pregnancy and after. He was taking care of me. Everything Nature Boy was supposed to be doing for me, he did from a distance, from afar. So I consider those things too, because I'm like, that's considerable. when you are going through things in life, you consider everything. You don't just consider one aspect just because, you know what I'm saying? So that was that and whatever, but we have had our down moments because there is so many odds and there's so many like disillusions and there's so many like outside influences and many people will have this certain like vision of me and they're like, she doesn't deserve love at all. And I'm like, what the fuck did I ever do to any of you bitches? I didn't do shit to nobody. I deserve love. I'm gonna give myself that. Period. Like they don't even the world doesn't even like me loving myself.
Yeah.
Because of this shit from carbonation.
So I have to ask you that. I seen a live video to where you were laying in Stonewall's lap and you were looking up at him, and the way you were looking at him, I'm just curious. Did you ever look at Eligio that way? Did you ever look at Nature Boy that way?
Oh, his name is Eligio. Okay, Eligio.
That's a very good question. I always get the question that was I ever in love with Nature Boy? Or am I in love with Nature Boy? I always get that question. For me, I feel that I fell in love with an idea. So
I know that pisses him off.
looked at so hard the way that I did in that video. I did look at Nature Boy in certain instances. And I feel like it was only because of the idea that I fell in love with. I don't think that love that I had was real because when you're in love with an idea of something, that's not love. That's not real. You know, whether I know it or not, that's not real.
Sir.
You know, so I feel like what I have with Solar is real. I feel like what we go through is real.
You just mentioned that you have you now that, you know, and again, no one caught whether they seen this interview or Solar's interview prior to this. You are now expecting a third child.
Mm-hmm.
Solar, and you're now how many weeks?
7.
First and foremost, congratulations on just the journey that it takes to get to this moment. Congratulations on the feeling and the euphoria of doing it the right way. You can't.
Yeah, I'm crying. I'm like.
Can y'all hear me? It stopped. Hold on. Let me see. Did they get me? Hold on. Did y'all hear me? Did they get me, y'all? Hold on. Can y'all hear me? Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Let me see.
Well, congratulations.
All right, sorry about that, y'all.
Journey.
I'm like, oh shit. Might have to erase it later, but I just want to hear it.
Of doing it the right way. You can't.
Yeah, I'm crying. I'm like crying. I don't even know.
You can't pay for that kind of joy. So definitely congratulations. Again, as we did interview Solar earlier, and we talked about the carbonation thing. we're just scratching the surface of what really went on throughout the whole thing, and to even have your story, there's many other stories to be told throughout that situation, but to even have you come here and be brave enough to be able to speak on the story, and again, speak so eloquently. Velvet was the name.
She did a good interview.
And then we see you, but we don't understand the inner workings. It's like an onion. You got to peel those layers back, and to be able to get these kind of layers, man, I'm just, dumbfounded about everything that you had to do to go through. I was feeling solo. I'm like, man, your life should be a movie, but again, given your situation as far as raising your family at 11 years old, getting to leave the country, getting your passport, and just leaving school, that's the story itself, and then what you experience afterwards. I can only commend you for even doing what you've done. I want to end with this, man. I'm just curious, man. Do you believe, or more so, what are your beliefs? Do you have faith? Do you believe in faith? Do you believe in fate? Do you believe in Illuminati? Do you believe, where do you land in the prospect of how things are supposed to go?
I believe in faith. That has been the trajectory of my life. That has been something that has always shown its face in my life, and any instant, even when I turned away from it. The way that I grew up was in a church, but it wasn't really the church that mattered to me. It was more so the connection and the relationship that I had with God. We have all these different religions, and we call God all these different names, but there is one source, whether we like to know that or not, or believe that or not. And so I have a relationship. I personally feel like I have a relationship with that source. And because I have had a relationship with that source, and I have been faithful in the knowing that the source will provide whatever it is that I need moving forward on my journey, whether I make the right decision, wrong decision, whatever decision, as long as I'm leaning into what my heart is saying, and I'm having faith in what my heart is saying, that I will never be led astray. And I haven't. Even in instances where it seemed like, where it looked like I was, I have always been led to greater things, better things, prosperous things. And I have literally saw God show up in my life. I have seen the Holy Trinity pop up in my life, and there is no denying that, period.
Not true.
And that's what I
have to ask you.
Oh, and I believe in prayer. That is super important.
No. Hey, we are. We are. Mama D.
Mm-hmm.
As far as her situation in your overall story, where does it land? I'm just curious.
Mama Dia was the most beautiful person I ever met in my entire life. She was such a mother to me. When Mama Dia came into the picture, this was one of the moments where I was being physically abused at an all-time high. One of the most traumatic experiences. This was I think she was there at the time. I don't know if you guys heard the story where I cut my hair and stuff like that. At some point in combination, I cut my hair. It was real toxic. But she came in at a very intense time of me being physically abused. And like I said, I was always pulled away from the group because of the scarring and everything like that. So I was in the tower. Mama Dia would come to me with towels. She would come to me with clean linen. She would come to me with my food. She would come to me to conversate with me. I had no idea that she was going through what she was going through. I had no idea she even had a heart condition. I never had a conversation with her to get to know her. I didn't even know half of the people that was there, or their backstories, or their lives, or where they came from, or their hometowns.
You didn't want to know, or you just was put away from
it? I was just put away. And the relationship that me and Nisha had was so toxic that it revolved around the toxicity. Everybody revolved around the toxicity. Because I was always like, this ain't right. This is not right. And Nature Boy didn't want me to say that out loud, so he had to squash me. He had to shut me up in some kind of way, So one day I get up after having a meeting. We had a meeting, and I saw Mama Dia. And mind you, I'm not making emotional connections with the people. of the tribe because I'm not with none of it. I don't even want to be there.
Mm.
So one day I get up and one of the guys at the time, they're like, Nisha, boy, you gotta cook seafood right now. And I get up and I'm like, see what? I'm thinking it's normal. I'm thinking like this shit is toxic as fuck. We see toxic shit all day, every day. Like why we gotta? So I get up. Lo and behold, it's Mama D in the tent, and I'm sitting there looking at her like, Nisha, boy, what you gonna do? Like I'm done. I don't even know what to say. I don't know what to do. I don't know. I'm just standing there like.
Let's rewind a little bit. It's a story or rumor that that Nature Boy suggested or told her to stop taking her meds that would have been able to prolong her life. Are you aware of the scenario in which that possibly could have been a situation, or do you know any details in with that at all?
I don't because of the fact that all the relationships that Nature Boy had with women, I was not.
So is that the lady that had the sexually transmitted disease, the syphilis or something like that? Is that this lady, Mama D?
In the midst of. I was not talking to anyone. I was locked away. I wasn't on social media either, and I wasn't even looking through messages to see if my family was contacting me. I wasn't looking for nothing. I'm like just locked away, you know? So the conversations that he would have with Mama Dia, that's what they would talk about. I don't know what they talking about, and I wouldn't care to find out because he probably trying to fuck her. That's just honest from my perspective because every other woman, he's trying to fuck them. But what I do know is the fact that
Oh, she had a heart attack. She had a heart condition. Okay. Thank y'all.
he encouraged no medication prescription vibe for any and everybody. But I didn't know Mama Dia had a heart condition. I didn't know that she was taking medication for it. And I didn't know that that was something that she needed to do. You know, she actually came to me one day and she told me something like she had some pains or something. But I didn't know what to do for her or what to tell her because I didn't know her history. So I'm like, go ask Nature Boy. And so when she asked Nature Boy, when she went to Nature Boy, he told her to go ground. And she's like trying to confide in me. And I'm like, I don't know what you need. I can't give you what you need.
Ground.
I literally don't know, you know? So then at that point, that's when the story came out about how she had the heart condition and stuff like that. But because Nature Boy was so gun ho on not having medication, not even vitamins. He banned books at one point in time. We couldn't even bring books.
Oh, that's 451.
So she was telling us we were in a meeting. We were in a meeting at this junction. She was telling everybody about the heart condition because
This talk of banned books. Oh my God.
She was telling everybody about it, but she kept saying as she was telling the story, but I don't need it. I always take it from now, here and then. I don't really take it that much. I've always lived with it. I take it every now and then, but that's not something that I have needed to depend on. My family, she literally was saying how her family wanted her to take it and that she didn't want to. So she isolated herself from her family because her family was trying to force her to take the medication. So we are all thinking, probably even Nature Boy at this juncture, that she didn't need it because she's doing everything not to take it, like in a sense. And
So when y'all go there and see her, you look at Nature Boy and say, "What are we gonna do now? What is he gonna do? Like what
he
happened?"
didn't do anything. He completely passed the buck. Like he wanted to know what Solar was gonna do. He wanted to know what Key was gonna do. Were you there at the time? Yeah, natural. The guy he wanted to know what the other guys were gonna do about it because he didn't want to put his hand on it. He didn't want to have no type of affiliation with it. When nigga, you the cult member, you the cult leader. You know, so he told the other guys basically came up with with ideas, and whoever had the best ideas, that's what they did.
Wow. So I have to ask you, was Nature Boy homosexual?
Yes, I do believe that. Yes.
Did you ever catch him in homosexual acts?
Yes, I did.
Like,
Oh wow.
One day, we were living in Belize again, and one day he always like had this friend, but he like always downplayed the relationship to me with the friend. So I'm thinking of the guy friend is just a guy friend. I'm thinking he's talking to his guy friend like guy friends. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
on some homie shit.
Right. Belize's a little different, but go ahead.
This is where the incident took place in Belize. And he's on the phone with the guy, he's on a video chat with the guy, and he walks out the tent away from me to talk to the guy. And usually he walks away from me to talk to people. And I never really thought of anything. I was pregnant at the time. I never thought of anything like that. Like he would be talking about whatever behind my back, whatever. So I just was like, okay, cool. Like we're going to have to talk on the phone, whatever. And then I catch him, like he thinks that I can't see him because he thinks I'm laying down in the tent. But something tells me to get up and look. So I'm looking and I'm looking and I watch him pull his thing out and put the phone camera on it. And I know he's on the phone with the guy. And I'm like, nobody else gonna see this? So he comes back in the tent and I'm like, were you just showing that guy your penis? And he's like, oh no, that's my friend. Da, 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 da. You know, really massaged it. And I'm like, okay, I let it go.
Mm.
He still has a relationship with this guy. So I'm like, this is getting weird. So now that I know that he has the relationship with the guy, he wants me to be a friend with the guy. So now I'm talking to the guy and I'm noticing that the guy is getting more flamboyant every single time I talk to him. This nigga started with a foundation. This nigga got that I don't even wear that shit on my eyebrows. This nigga got the young cub on the motherfucking jail. I'm like,
Oh my God.
about 2 years after all
God.
of me consistently having a relationship with the guy, whatever, Nature Boy starts talking to him out the blue. And I found out 2 years later that he stopped talking to the guy because the guy wanted to fly him out from wherever we were in the trial base to where he was to have sex with him or whatever for money. And this guy, the specific guy, used to send him money before Nature Boy got into the carbonation thing. This guy used to send him money for sexual behavior, for sexual acts.
Mm.
And he would just send him money for whenever he felt like it. And that would be the gateway to having sexual relationships with Nature Boy.
Yeah. You mentioned there was, no vitamin, no medication.
It's almost over, y'all. This is crazy.
Combination situation. What is that in regards to what they say? Hey, this is just whatever's out here. There's no protection. Everyone's doing whatever. We all got whatever, and we just go whatever.
That was one of my biggest concerns being there. Where there was idea of STDs or not. I was always like, Nature Boy, you keep sticking with these people, but you don't know what anyone has. Like you know what I got. You see what I'm saying? Like you know my history, but you don't know like none of these people's histories. So every time I would leave, I would get tested, and every time I've left, nothing came back except for the last time that I went. Or the last time I left. The last time I left carbonation, there was chlamydia in my system and trichomonas in my system. I don't know where that came from.
Damn.
I don't know how, like what. I don't know who he slept with, who had it. But at that juncture, that's when I knew that he had STDs and other people did. But prior to that last moment in 2020, I had never got tested for any STDs other than what I naturally had in 2017, which was a case of HBS1 herpes or whatever, which I'm aware that all of us have that to some degree in our blood or whatever like that. It's just that whatever lifestyle that person is living, that antibody gets exposed in a certain type of way and it is now reversible. And so in 2017, I was diagnosed with that. But all of my partners have known that prior to sleeping with me, and I would tell people that, and I actually tell people that so I can get them the fuck away from me. And so these people decided to still sleep with me, But these people have never gotten tested. They told me like, hey, I caught it from you, or I've contracted this from you. Me personally, I've never had an outbreak to say like what that experience is like. So I don't know. But after me leaving that last time, I got my system clean. I did what I needed to do, and I'm back to my original layout. And I kept it like that. Last time I got tested was 3 months ago. And my status is still the same to this day. Now, if somebody decides to be with me, knowing that I have the health history that I have, that's on them, But people know my situation because I'm like, I tell people this is what it is. Period.
In regards to, I was curious as far as at the height of apartment when you're there, what was the ratio of women and men? You said, and also what ethnicity was the majority?
I always felt like it was equal. Like they might have like 2 or more females at a time, or they might have 2 or more males at a time, unless like all of the women leave because they were getting abused in some kind of way. And then there were more men than women. I know when I was there at the beginning, the group fluctuated so much to the point where so many people had left at a time, and I was like pretty much one of the only women, like 1 out of 2 women, and then there were like 4 or 5 men. But that was like one time. But for the most part, like overall, because the group fluctuates so much, I could say usually be like an equal amount of girls to guys. So it never made sense to me why all the women had to be with one man when you got all of these other men out here who desire to be in relations, who desire to, like, wow, like, what is this? Like, this is weird. And it came out to be that Nature Boy wanted these men to be eunuchs. He wanted to cut their penises off so that they can just be a servant. And I'm like, no, that's not real. I'm turning these men into eunuchs. That don't even make sense.
Game of Thrones, yeah, eunuch.
Damn.
Game of Thrones, like a motherfucker.
That's weird.
But even now, of course, still in the background, would you be open to even if, let's say, you still are moving for the future, would you be going to a polygamous situation, whether I'm his or whether I'm yours?
No.
You're kind of done with that?
No. No. From what I've learned about myself, from what I've studied about myself, I'm a monogamous person. If I'm gonna give myself a title, if I'm gonna put myself in a category, I'm a monogamous type of person. You throw me in a community, I'm gonna be monogamous. Period. Anywhere I go, because I just have a certain type of standard. I have boundaries. I have a whole heap of things that even if I wanted to be polygamous, it would literally have to be a situation that would literally have to present itself from God, and God would literally have to approve of it because it just got to be ordained. Like if that was the case, but at this juncture, and in the next year or 2, I don't see that happening at all because of the space and time that we are currently in. The trauma, like it's just too much. It's too many other variables.
No question. Yeah. You're older now. You're mature. And I'm just curious. Lastly, if you can go back and talk to your 17-year, 18-year-old self, what advice would you give yourself?
I would tell myself to finish school, finish college, because still to this day, and even in this moment, I'm thinking about being in somebody's agricultural program. And I still have yet to really do that because I have other responsibilities now that I have to think about. And I have to put certain things on the back burner to be able to eventually get to the point where I can focus on being in somebody's agricultural program. But I would tell myself that, and I would also tell myself to just study a bit more, stop relying more on what people are saying, more than studying what they're doing, watching what they're doing, responding to things based off of someone's actions rather than what they're saying.
Man, without question. Your story again is And these are no words, but for those who do want to follow you, who do want to see kind of what you're going on, be able to root for your journey going forward and be able to assist, maybe even, provide some guidance and provide some knowledge. How can they get at you? How can they reach you? What's your social medias?
Well, my Instagram is one thing, but I really want to put my YouTube out there. Creole.
That.
Yeah, Creole.femininity. New Orleans is considered Creole, so that's why I got the Creole period femininity, Creole.femininity. But I will tell people just to be aware of scammers because people have made multiple YouTube channels of the same name, and femininity is spelled different with 2 I's, 2 N's. But Creole is spelled correctly and femininity is spelled correctly for my platform. Just make sure you have that period between Creole femininity. But that is where I put the most of my content on, where I speak from, where I unravel, where I purge, where I be a mother, where I'm tapping into my crafts, my YouTube. That's what Creole.femininity.
Beautiful. At times, only I say the shout outs you want to give, man. Any people that you want to just kind of commend or give recognition to on the journey to this point?
The first person is my dad. My dad is no longer here. He transitioned in September of last year.
Condolences.
I appreciate that.
I'm looking for her link.
That to this day, I was pregnant at the time when I found out, so I wasn't able to process it as readily as I wanted to. Neither was I able to attend like his funeral ceremony and things like that. And my family kind of hates me in a sense, like some of my family, not all of them, but there's some real trauma behind me not attending, the ceremonies and being there with my family and stuff like that. But I feel like my dad was really rooting for the betterment of me and the entire situation. He went out his way to really like shake me and be like, like this is what's really going on. And I don't think if it was for my dad that I wouldn't have certain realizations that I do now. I wouldn't have tapped into my womanhood the way that I have now. And I just want to thank him, And I've said it to him when he was alive, but now it's just different that he's not here. But I also want to thank my mom as well because my mom has instilled characteristics in me that's irreplaceable. Irreplaceable.
Shout out, Mom.
Irreplaceable. And I love my parents regardless. And that's how I felt when I was a child. Both of my parents, I love them. And of course, my other families,
Take care of a lot.
Um,
I'm sure they're happy. I'm sure they appreciate it.
And not to make it too cliche, but I do want to shout out Solar. And people be like, no, but he has really added value to my life to the point where if we split up today, I would still be applying into my life, like literally. And I can't say that about most of the people that I have come into contact with, and that's really hard for me to say because I don't want to trust nobody at this point. I don't want, because of what I've been through. But when it's real, it's real. When it's there, it's there. And when it's right, it's right. And that's this is what it is.
Well said, enough said, man. I gotta say it, man. To do what you just did, man, is very therapeutic. I'm glad you were able to kind of get some of this out.
This was a very excellent interview. Like, oh wow, she told so much. Like, that was my first time ever hearing of her. Like, I did not follow this story whatsoever. I don't even think I was blogging. Well, I wasn't. Well, I don't know because it said it premiered. Well, yeah, I wasn't on YouTube yet because this was March 2023. And y'all know I didn't come over to YouTube until July of 2023. So this was a good interview. She said a lot and she was strong. Wow, there's a lot I want to get to know about this story. And the interviewer was excellent. Like, I love how he allowed her to talk. I mean, it taught me some things because sometimes, when I call myself interviewing, I be thinking that I need to be asking more questions. But he allowed her to talk freely, kind of. He did ask her questions, but he just allowed her to answer fully without him overbearing her with questions. So I like that. And you know what else? I actually I'm interested now in doing videos interviews like this, the less drama filled interviews, but more along these lines of people that actually have freed themselves from something like this, whether it's toxic relationship, narcissistic abuse, or even cult, living in a cult and being abused psychologically, mentally, physically, but are now free. You know what I'm saying? Because her interview is motivating, right? It literally lets people that may be going through something like this know that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and that you don't have to forever be a victim. I don't like forever victims, to be honest with you. I like people that take their power back. I actually think that I'm more driven to people or driven to see people take their power back, get back on your feet, bounce back. Don't let nobody keep you down, right? So just seeing her video is very uplifting to me, and it makes me say, yeah, that's what I'm talking about, girl. Snatch your power back. Don't ever let somebody break you to the point that you are down and you stay down. I love to see a woman stand back up, stand in her position, knock the dust off of her and keep moving. That actually will hurt a narcissist or a toxic person worse than you can ever slap them in the face or take something from them. You gaining your power back, it takes everything from them. And I love this. I love this. So I think, I'm not going to make no promises because I don't, I would have to literally sit and figure out how to do this. But I would love to interview people like her that have been through it. I'm talking about been all the way through it, but they gained their strength back. They gained their power back. They stood back up. You understand what I'm saying? So anyway, great interview. I also am about to join this person's channel. It's called Real Life Productions. So I'm gonna subscribe because it appears that they have a lot of knowledge on this story. So I'm definitely going to do some research on this channel to find out. They did a lot of interviews, so they were able to secure a lot of interviews dealing with this story. But before we leave, I want to go over because we ain't done, y'all. I don't know what y'all thought, we ain't done. So I want to go over predictive cult, I guess you can call it predictive cult checklist. So because right now what we're doing is we're studying Kevin Wesley to see if he's going to go down this same path. Hell, who knows? If he does, we may have members of his cult, if he has one, sitting on our panel one day, right? But I want to go over what may be his next steps, what may be his next move. Now, this is a predictive cult checklist. This is, they do things, they do the recruitment, and then they do, something different and something next, and then next and next and next. So I would like to just point out some things that may happen next. And, we watching. Now, of course, because I am talking about it, right? It may be some different things done or rattled or whatever the case may be, or I may just be flat out as wrong. He may not be trying to develop a cult, but in my hearts of hearts, I believe that is what he's trying to do. That's just my belief based on his movement, his talk, the recruitment speech, and his desire to have a perfect image and his desire to be looked at as a leader. So anyway, we're going to talk about that. But somebody sent me this photo and I just wanted to put it up because apparently this is members that was a part of his tribe. So I see, let me see, 1, 2, I see some children. I think I see about 2 kids. So the women don't shave? What's up with that? Because I've seen that. So anyway, but this is part of his tribe. And which one was Velvet? Where is she? I guess you can't really see her. I just don't know who she is in this photo. Anyway, she said Velvet daughter is in front of him. Oh, that's Velvet daughter? Oh, okay. You said there's velvet daughter in front of him, but oh, that's velvet door. Oh, that's velvet with his arms across her knee. Oh, wow. She looked rough. Oh, wow. She looked so rough. So these people went out to Costa Rica with him to kind of live amongst themselves. Wow, this is crazy. Okay. He's from Dallas, if I'm not mistaken, just FYI. The interviewer. Oh, is he? Oh, okay, okay. Thank you, Tamika. So let's talk about some predictions, y'all, shall we? Let's put these jokers back up and let's talk about some of the predictions of what we may see coming soon. And, you know, once we see them, we'll point them out. But, you know, again, because I'm speaking on it, it may be some pivots, you know what I'm saying? But even if it is pivots, we'll pay attention to the pivots as well, okay? All right. So let's talk about some of the predictive cult behaviors that we may be seeing coming soon. These are some of the behaviors and shifts that we could watch for next based on the cult trajectory of figures like Jim Jones, Nature Boy, and others, okay? So move from criteria to commitment contracts. All right. So what's to watch for? A tribe pledge, which is an agreement or document followers must sign. Okay. Now, you know what I've never done? I've never asked anybody in here, have they ever been a part of something like this? I didn't ask y'all. So I'm asking you guys now, if you're not afraid to answer that in the comments, have you ever been a part of something like this? Let me know. Let me know. So anyway, like I said, an agreement, a tribe pledge agreement, a document followers must sign. All right. Requirements to cut off the outside distractions, especially friends, family, or any exes. Phrases like burn the old life, choose us fully, or you must be all in. Okay. Now, here's the thing, we may not even know if he says these things to these people, because I would think that we wouldn't know what he's saying to them unless we had inside scoop. You understand what I'm saying? Like, how would we know what he's actually saying to these people, right? So anyway, why does this matter? Commitment documents begin to lock people in emotionally and psychologically, even if it's not legally binded, okay? All right, number 2, demand for secrecy or loyalty oath. All right. So what we can watch for is what happens in the tribe. What happens in the tribe stays in the tribe type talk. Okay. Private WhatsApp groups, telegrams, the rules about outside posting or leaking. Damn, they start telling you what you can post on social media and what you can't post on social media. Followers being told not to question their leadership publicly. Okay. Don't call them out. Don't speak negative about the leader, right? Why does this matter? Cutting off your ties, cut off tightens the circle and silence critics from within to maintain control, because that's what it's about, control, all about control. Another thing is start vetting romance access, sexual control, what to watch for next. Kevin deciding who can date whom for harmony. Okay, that's if and when he start gaining members, right? He's telling them who they can date and when they can date. Women being subtle or overly directed toward relationship roles that he control, claims that monogamy is unnatural or that tribal love is shared love. Ooh, why does this matter? Most cult leaders eventually try to control sex and family structure, especially when women are the majority of the followers. All right. The recruitment of young or isolated women. All right. Reaching out to single mothers, runaways, or recently heartbroken women using emotional language like, we're your family now, or you don't need to raise your kids alone. Offering a safe place that quickly turns into obedience based loyalty. Why does this matter? Cults often expand by targeting emotional, vulnerable women who are easier to groom. These young women. Introducing uniformity or tribe appearance expectation. What to watch for: dress modest, cover your head, wear tribal colors, encouraging followers to all look, speak, and post alike. Photos where tribe members appear identical or overly coordinated. Why does this matter? Visual comforting becomes a tool to erase individuality or reinforce control. Again, all about control. What we can look for next is start preparing land or shared housing. We found some land, y'all, but only tribe members can live there. Creating a GoFundMe or donation drive to build the village up. Offering tribe housing at a discount if you follow the rules. Why does this matter? Shared living environment equal total control of daily behavior, surveillance, and groupthink. Controlling how they think, what comes in, what goes out. Number 7, stage a purge or kick out dissenters. Okay, what to watch for: sudden videos where former followers are called toxic, jealous, or not ready. You ain't woke yet. Okay, claim that people who leave the tribe were agents or demons in disguise. Encouraging loyalty by publicly shaming deflectors. Okay. Why does this matter? Cult leaders maintain control by scapegoating anyone who breaks free. So anybody that break free, they will call them, they were just agents. They was placed here to spy on us. They never, was in it from the beginning. It was probably somebody from the other side, shit like that. Okay. Number 8, claim divine prophecy or supernatural powers. Oh Lord, if this happened, y'all, I am going to split a wig. You hear me? What to watch for next? Spirit told me to do this, or I was chosen for this time. Subtle shift from life coach to spiritual leader, prophet, or messiah type. Followers calling him master teacher or treating him like a divine figure. Master teacher? What the fuck? Why does this matter? This is how cult leaders solidify absolute power by removing accountability and saying, God said so. Denying healthcare, therapy, or outside interventions. What to watch for: you don't need a doctor. Nature will heal you. Therapists don't understand your frequency. Discouraging followers from medication, professional help, or family interventions. Why does this matter? This is extremely dangerous, especially if followers begin to put their health or safety in his hands. Oh my God. Escape or uproot due to attacks. So what to watch for: if exposed or criticized, Kevin might claim the tribe is under attack by low vibrational people, the system, or jealous haters. He may use this as justification to move again, cut off digital access, or become more secretive and selective. Why does this matter? Isolation and paranoia often precedes abuse or collapse. So again, if Kevin is becoming a cult leader, these are his next likely steps. Increase his tiers. So what to watch for: increase tiers, commitment language, tribe only rules, secret groups, relationship control, financial dependency, isolation, uniformity, public purges, divine authority claims, healthcare rejections, physical relocation, total dependency. So those are things to look for. Now, to be honest with you, I don't know how we would know that being on the outside and looking in. Give me a second, you guys. All right, so from us outsiders, because none of us are going to sign up to be no damn cult, right? So from the outsiders that's looking in, let's talk about what we may notice being on the outside, because a lot of the things that I just named, you would actually have to be a part to know some of those things. But on the outside looking in, what to look for? Repeated phrases verbatim, dismissing critics with spiritual sounding phrases instead of critical thoughts. Followers start speaking in tribe codes, using shared language to feel exclusive. Oh, Lord. Why does this matter? It's a sign of mental conditioning and identity fusion. They are replacing their voice with his. Drastic personality changes from warm and independent to emotionally detached, dismissive, overly spiritualized. What to look for: becoming emotional distance from family and friends, usual defensiveness when Kevin is questioned, sudden we don't do that anymore behavior shift with no personal explanation, just Kevin said. Why does that matter? This shows growing emotional dependency and I don't even know that word, self-assurance. But you know what? We still won't know that, because this is things that you would look for in the person that's following him. And we won't see that, because I'm sure he's going to cut them off from being able to be out in the public, I would think. Okay. But anyway, it says financial sacrifice without clear returns. People selling furniture, cars, and quitting jobs to join the movement, missing rent, cutting back on essentials while still paying Kevin, paying into his ecosystem. Justifying the sacrifice as part of breaking the cycle. Why does this matter? This is how cult followers justify self-harm as growth. They're told to suffer because suffering equals spiritual loyalty. What the hell? What the hell? Cut off loved ones who express concerns. What to look for: friends, family get ghosted after questions. Tribe members publicly denounce their old life, their jobs, their partners, or their parents. New circle become exclusively tribe related. Isolation is key of indoctrination. Cults tell members anyone who disagrees is toxic. Social media echo chambers. Only tribe aligned comments are allowed. Criticism equal instant blocking or gaslighting. What to look forward to? What to look for: followers constantly defending Kevin, even when caught lying or contradicting themselves. Comment section flooded with "You're so wise, King. This is next level. Teach us more." Oh my God, if I see that, I'm gonna throw up. Anyone who disagrees is attacked as low vibrational, broken, or jealous. Damn, didn't he use that word, low vibrational? Why does this matter? Cult leaders train their people to view disagreements as a threat, not a feedback. We already see that though, right? We already see that. We see that when someone disagrees with them, he looks at it as an attack already. That's why he share people that he supports. We call them the attack dogs. He shared their posts and things of that nature because he wants them to attack people that disagree with him. You remember when what's his name? The guy, I can't think of his name, but the guy that just recently called him out and said, we're not Ringo. So when Ringo didn't agree with him, kind of disagreed with his behavior, you see how he went off on him? He just snapped, right? And then you had his attack dog saying Ringo attacked him, but Ringo didn't attack him. He tried to gaslight and manipulate Ringo, and Ringo caught on to it. Okay. But when Ringo gave his commentary on it, his reply, then Ringo was considered in attacking him. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, but again, overuse of healing journey as justification. What to look for: using healing or trauma jargon to shut down dialogue instead of opening it, labeling any question as an attack, victim blaming anyone who tries to leave or speak up. Why does this matter? This is spiritual gaslighting and is used to keep followers compliant. All right. Defending the leader at all costs. What is this? What's to look for? Followers make excuses for lies, contradiction, and abusive behavior. We've seen that already. Saying things like he's still human or he's learning while continuing to give him money and power. Groupthink defense response. Everyone sounds the same when defending him. Why does this matter? The moment the message becomes more important than the harm, you're in occult territory. Paranoia about the outside world. America is evil. The system is crumbling. We're being targeted. What to look for? Followers talk like doomsday preppers and spiritual exiles. Increase urgency. You better join us now before it's too late. Claiming they've been persecuted online for their beliefs. Why does this matter? This paranoia is how cults keep people afraid of leaving. You know, we heard, I already know what's going to happen to your country. Yeah, you're going to wish you left. I'm getting out now because I already see what's coming. We've already heard that from him. We've already heard that from him. Like 4 or 5 days after he went over, it was already our country. And he knows what's going to happen to our country. Total identity replacement, new name, new belief, new dress, new rules, no critical thought. What to look forward to? Followers abandon long-held values and suddenly act like carbon copies of Kevin, changing their name to spiritual aliases, only associating people with people who agrees with Kevin ideology. Why does this matter? That's not transformation, it's submission. So as an outsider, if you are an outsider, your job is to ask questions genuinely but consistently, document behaviors and patterns, screenshot language changes, financial shift, offer a safe way out without judgment, just honesty and concern, speak out publicly to warn others, but be ready for backlash from indoctrinated followers. So anyway, I already know people that listen to me is not going to fall for the okie doke, all right? I know you guys are not, but don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if you, or should I say don't be surprised to see somebody that we've been going back and forth with for the last almost 3 years over in Colombia joining his tribe. Don't be surprised that, you know, if we don't see whole families or maybe just baby daddies that don't want to take care of their kids. Don't be surprised if we don't see them join him over there, okay, trying to escape, you know, America, because America is just so scary, okay? She said, I wouldn't follow him to the corner store. Me neither, but some people will. And I think that's what he wants. So anyway, don't be surprised to see some people. I don't know. Who do y'all think going to be first? I think I know who's going to be first. I think it's going to be a guy that, you know, has female hips that don't take care of his kids already, pending foreclosure, you know, and yeah, then I think he'll be the first one to sign up. Yeah, that's the one. That one right there. Yeah. I think he'll be the first to sign up. I don't know. Who do y'all think? Somebody said Robert. Now, I don't think that Kevin will be able to control Robert. They would probably be like a partner, but I don't think that Kevin will ever be able to control Robert. They compete each other too much. If anything, Robert probably want his own tribe because they both have a need for power and image control. So if anything, they'll probably have their own tribe. But I think Kevin is not going to share his tribe with Robert. He's not going to want to share that spotlight with him. So anyway, that again, we're going to be continuing doing lives like this, just noticing things. And if we don't notice, we won't call it out, but we will notice some things. And I'm going to continue to look into the behaviors of Jim Jones and Nature Boy, along with Kevin. I sure am. Kevin doesn't want Robert still in his spot. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They would have to have two different tribes. If he takes big ones, they'll get mad if they don't have enough food and say that they need America to interfere. Yeah, I don't think he'll be able to take any big ones because even on this picture, I don't think I see anybody heavy set. So the big ones don't want to have their food rationed to them. You know what I'm saying? They'll lose massive weight and complain. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think that any big one's going to be going there with them because it costs too much to feed them. They have to stay back. But again, all of this is literally our opinion, and we have a right to speak our opinion. None of this stuff that I'm saying is facts yet. Okay, it's not facts yet as far as is that what he's doing? Because we don't know. We're just speculating. Somebody said he gonna take Terry Dowd with him. Lord Jesus. She said the well cannot be cut. Get chips and pizza every day. Oh yeah, no. She ain't gonna go, honey. She ain't trying to damn starve. So again, speculation. We see a pattern. We don't know what it's for, but listen, I don't think people change the way they dress, change the way they walk, talk, and little cold words here and there. And America has not given us what it is that we so desire, bullshit or whatever. So let's go over here as a tribe together and make it work. But this ain't no vacation, so come ready, prepared to work. But we're going to live on a compound, and yeah, you're going to have an HOA fee, all right. Yeah, let's do it, and let's talk in private so we can knock out tier one. I guarantee you tier one sounds something about, I don't know, anywhere between $500 to $1,500. I think tier one is, this is your initial investment, and then we're gonna do a tier 2, 3, 4, probably all the way up to 5. That's what I'm thinking anyway. Kevin would tell Robert, you got to get your own, my brother. Oh yeah, I absolutely believe that, J. Lou. I believe that he would not allow him in. She said, is that Nature Boy with the jacked up grill? Yes, girl, that's him. But on some pictures, he actually wasn't a bad looking guy. On some of his pictures, he will promise the big one a flat tummy. I don't believe RH would go over there. I don't think he'll go over there to be up under Kevin's tribe, no. But do I think that he may want to try his own tribe? Yeah, I think that he has a need to have a certain image as well as his brother. I think they both want to be worshipped. I really do. I absolutely think they both want to be worshipped. So I won't say that I don't think Kevin will go over there. I absolutely do think he will. So I'm gonna, like I did, I subscribe to this guy. I'm gonna be looking at now. I probably won't show a whole video like I did tonight or whatever, because like I said, this one may be they may ask for it to be taken down. So we'll see when I get off what goes on. If I need to delete it, I will. But if not, then we go from there. Lord Jesus. Mm-mm-mm. I'm just reading, y'all. I'm sorry. Mm. You know, I could be reaching. You know what I'm saying? I'm just reading his last post, and he says green is a color of the heart chakra. I think that's what it is. The energy of love, healing, and growth. Even the universe knows this because before a flower blossoms into radiant color, it begins as green, just like love. Everything starts in the heart. Wearing green isn't just a color choice, it's alignment. It activates the center of compassion, unity, and legacy. And when love is divine, it multiplies, not divide. I don't know why that just sounds so coded. Shit. RH love American food too much. He ain't going nowhere. She said RH love American food too much. RH is trying to recruit young women for K. Diddy. So y'all don't think that he would go? Yeah, it does sound that like that, Cassie, doesn't it? She said, Amor, your video should be fine because people have done a whole blog on him years ago. Yeah, you know, I'm really interested in learning a little more, but only in the comparison aspects. You know what I'm saying? To see just how much power Kevin tries. Oh. Well, let's point that out tomorrow. Let's point this out tomorrow. This would be one of my little add-ons for tomorrow. The unfortunate thing for him is they all know she be telling the truth, and they literally still all have phone conversations with her. I believe that too, Sunshine. He can get a woman, but he can't keep one. Yep, Britt. All right. Girl, y'all, I done been on for 6 hours, child. Y'all know when I get sleepy, I start acting silly and all type of shit. Yep, I sure do. But y'all, thank y'all for sliding through, honey. You know what I mean? I owe y'all that anyway, because y'all showed me so much love on this last live stream. So, you know, I don't know. I love y'all so much though. But thank you, Sunshine, for renewing your membership, and Lacondas for 6 months, baby. Kia Marie for 16 months, baby. Hold on, Miss Too Much for You for 20 months, baby. Wait a minute, it goes up. Chris in for 23 months, baby. I'm loving it. Thank you, Peacock on the Run. And thank you, Tinker Bell. Appreciate you, baby. Miss Joanne, sprinkling a little love. She said, you are a real investigative reporter, also the GOAT. Oh, thank you, Joanne. Thank you, Angela. Appreciate you, love. Popeye's Chicken came through, and 16 months for Angie E. Thank you so very much. Appreciate y'all so much. The sponsor for this live is our girl Tinker Bell. Y'all better give it up for Tinkers in the house. Tinkers in the house. Tinkers in the house. Thank you so much, Tinkers. And somebody actually threw me a Coca-Cola, y'all. Y'all wanted me to stay up. Y'all know how to keep me up, don't y'all? Y'all know how to keep a girl up. Hold on. Let me see who it was. It was... Who is this? It is Jamita. I don't know how to say your name, but anyway, thank you, sweetheart. I appreciate you, baby. I so do. You my first coffee for the year, August the 1st. It says August the 1st. You was my first coffee for the year. Listen, y'all. Shit, I'm cracking up watching the replay of more. Girl. Hey, baby, listen. Y'all, this video was lit. I don't care what nobody say. It was lit. I still got 271 people in here, but I know y'all are sleepy, and I am too. I'm about to go take me a bubble bath and get my ass in the bed with the mister, y'all. Hold on. Oh, shit, I still got an hour. But anyway, I'm going to soak in the bathtub, and then I am getting in the bed. This shit was funny. But listen, I mean, she said with nobody, not the year. I ain't mean the year. I meant the month. The first one of the month. Did I say the year? I meant the month. Y'all know I'm sleepy. No, the first coffee of the month. It is August the 1st. So the first coffee of the month. So thank y'all. And listen, y'all don't have to wait till I come live to throw your girl a coffee. I should wake up to about 5 or 6 or 7 coffees in the morning. So, you know, to wake me up. I shouldn't say I should. That sounds so entitled and shit. But I wouldn't mind. She said, Amor, that was my email. Oh, thank you, Nana. Thank you so much for the coffee, baby. Thank you for my first coffee for the month of August. Appreciate you, honey. But listen, y'all. Hey, it's all fun and games over here. We love laughing. I'm sure I pissed off a bunch of people today. You know what I'm saying? But I've been live since what? Oh, did y'all know I got out of jury duty? Y'all want to know how I did it? I put deferment, child. I asked for a deferment, child. They said I get one deferment. So I got a deferment until November. So I won't be called no more until November. Because who want to do that? Girl, I found out they only get paid $20 a day. Do you know what I could do for $20? Or do you know listen, $20? I ain't trying to sound like Robert, but come on. Jury duty for $20. I can go where can I get $20 from? I can go Uber Eats, Uber or not. What do you call it? What do you call it? When I do DoorDash, I can go DoorDash and make more than $20 in 1 hour, right? But anyway, all I'm saying is, and it ain't no one damn hour. I don't know how long I would have been up there, child. I probably would have been up there for 4 hours for $20. They should be ashamed of themselves paying people $20 for damn for jury duty. That's a whole goddamn day. That sounds like some type of Cuba pay. You know what I mean? Well, that's what they make in Colombia, $20 a day type shit. What the hell? Anyway, this shit was funny as hell. She said, right here on your live, LOL. Exactly. I made more than... Listen, okay, you better stop playing. Let me put it up. I made more than $20 damn on this damn live. And I ain't have to sit there and find out that somebody steal a pen out of goddamn Walmart or not. It was a felony theft case, y'all. A felony theft case. Child. I probably would have set him free anyway. He ain't do it. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I'm glad I ain't have to sit through that shit. She said, I just didn't show up. Girl, I don't want to go to jail. I live too good of a life to be trying to go to jail. So I'm like, no, I ain't going to test it. I ain't going to test it. Because I thought about just not showing up. And I was like, nah, I ain't going to do that. I'm like, nah, I ain't that damn bold. And come lock my ass up. Child, they put handcuffs on me. I'm fainting. I'm a so faint. I'm like, oh, shit. Nah, I'm claustrophobic too. Shit, I can't get cuffs on me. Hell no. I'll spaz out. What? Hell no. Anyway, I love y'all so much. Y'all are thebomb.com. I'm pretty sure I done stepped on some toes tonight. And early all damn day, I done stepped on some damn toes. This shit is funny to me. Anyway, I love y'all. I'm going to talk to y'all tomorrow. Y'all have a good night's rest because I never went to jury duty. Child, I ain't trying to go. But who knows? I might have to go one day. Hell, they calling me for. Go call somebody else. Anyway, y'all hit that thumbs up button and I'm going to talk to y'all later, okay? She said, tell us today or more because you're going to forget tomorrow. Tell y'all what? What did I say I was going to tell y'all? I can't remember what I said I was going to tell y'all. Was it about the text message that I got? Oh, no, I'm going to remember. The person that sent it to me is definitely going to make me remember. And I love her for that. She said, y'all, Tiff got on. Good night, y'all. Okay, Tiff is on, y'all. Tiff is on. Love y'all. Talk to y'all later. Go support our sister Tiff. All right, y'all. Talk to y'all later. Love y'all. Bye.
Because they can't make $1 without mentioning now one of our names.
She kept talking about
about
We
that
got these
family.
hoes over there about
She kept
bad.
talking about that family. She kept talking
Internet
about that
gangsters.
family. She kept talking about that family. She kept talking about that family. That family. She kept talking about that family. Talking about that family.
These motherfuckers don't be want to regret something. Because they can't make $1 without me. Now one of our names.